Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 27 of the Hall of Gamers podcast. This week, I'm joined, as always, by the master of technology and the sound engineer wizard, Cameron.
Everything's kept together, literally, by duct tape. Thanks to my wonderful daughter.
Yeah, she's been helping.
Yeah.
We're also joined by Charlotte, our new permanent host.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Oh, not too bad. Friday.
Friday.
Friday, yes, exactly. Yes. And I'm also joined by Brad. How you doing, mate?
Hey guys, how are we?
Yeah, good. It's been a while since we've had you on the show, so
just a bit.
Yeah. But we
wouldn't know because those episodes don't get recorded or go out.
Well, we do the recording this time, so there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I don't screw anything up anymore.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I've also forgotten to hit record a couple of times in this show, and we're only 27 episodes in, so, it can happen to anybody. All right, well, this week we're going to talk a little bit about some video game adaptations. We're going to talk about how Cyberpunk's making a comeback, and how discontinues are literally ruining everyone's life yet again.
Yep.
But first, Cameron's going to transition us to what might be the simplest song of the week we've ever heard. Take it away.
All right. Now, just giving Brad a feeling. Do not talk during the song, unlike previous guests on last episode. Read chapters. Anyway.
My streak.
So I shouldn't be talking right now.
Fire. It's never been higher. Going on 200 days. But I don't know what to play, but we're just a few days apart, figuring out what game I'm gonna start. But I still say I don't know what to play. Jump online, ain't nothing in the backlog. Jump online, ain't nothing in my boost list. Jump online, I spend my day looking at games, but I don't know what to play.
That was a wonderful rendition.
Thank you. I was quite happy with it. I put a little bit more time into it than usual, and by a little bit I mean maybe an hour. But it did take me a little bit. So I'm assuming you guys know what it is.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, good. Cameron, do you know what it is?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Cameron, what is it then? Because you're usually the one.
Backstreet Boys.
Yep.
I'm gonna mess up the wording of the title.
Please get it right.
I want it that way.
Yeah, sure. We'll give you that. That's fine.
I'll sing it when it comes on the radio, but I won't know the actual song.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's that's close enough. It's Backstreet Boys. You know what? If you'd given me a different Backstreet Boys song, I would have been a bit annoyed. But that's good enough.
Everybody.
Yeah, no. Well, okay, that's also a good one.
We also would have accepted that cold open to Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, right. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So, Cameron, I gave you a earlier today.
God damn it! Now I realize.
That's why I asked you.
Okay.
You've seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine, haven't you?
Okay. Yeah. I'll be honest. I haven't watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine in a while, but I remember that scene.
It's an iconic scene.
Yeah.
If
you said Brooklyn Nine-Nine song though, I immediately wouldn't jump to that unless you said Backstreet Boys.
It would just be a really loud sound that just hits you with the intro way louder than the dialogue was right beforehand. Gets me every fucking time.
Parks and Rec is really bad for that as well. The intro is very loud.
Yeah, agreed. I guess we'll get straight into it then. Well done, guys. I'm glad you all got that. We're doing the show live on Twitch for some reason. If you don't know that, we do it every week, so you can come hang out with us at Hall of Gamers Pod. Is the URL.
It gives us an excuse to drink alcohol and do a podcast.
Pretty much, yeah. I haven't quite broken out the hot tub yet. But we'll see how it goes. It actually depends on how the viewership goes, really. But hey, anything to get those subscribers.
Look, they're not getting a nude calendar until we're hitting like at least 100 concurrent viewers.
Oh, absolutely. No, like I don't get these bad boys out for nothing. Like let's be real here. It's I'm working hard. Speaking of working hard,
You've given me a target now.
No, fuck's sake. Brad, let's have a chat with you for the 5 people who don't know who you are. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Let's see. I live in SA. Work most of the time now these days, so not playing as much as I used to. But,
I should say that's South Australia, because that could easily be turned into something else.
That's true.
Do I sound like I'm from South Africa?
You do not sound like a Sapphire.
Does Kyle sound like he's from South Africa?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know. But...
yes, he does.
Very much so.
For the one Kyle listening, shout out.
So South Africa. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, and see, mostly I play RPGs, roguelites, and lately getting into tactical strategy.
Wow. Okay. I mean, like those are some niches that I'm a big fan of. But you got any sort of good examples of things you've been playing, or kind of series that you?
Lately, I've been playing a lot of the Warhammer games.
Right.
Because they make a lot of tactical strategies, and if by the time I finish Necromunda, which I've just started, I should be #1 in Australia and Oceania.
Wow, that's awesome.
It actually wasn't that hard, so.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah, not a huge amount of competition, right?
I mean, when your competition's Neo and the other guy that just does the simulator games, I mean, is there any competition?
I mean, I like a little bit of Warhammer every now and then. That's just I'm just I don't have the patience for a lot of the tactical stuff because I'm not big brained enough for that shit. I'm not quite Cameron's Leroy Jenkins everything that's but it's like a nice medium.
I can calculate things sometimes when there's a guide involved and
it does the work for you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, turn left, right. Okay, so you get the printout instructions. Okay, now turn left, then turn right, then turn left, then forward, and then do this attack, and then turn left. It's like I played Energy Cycle. I know how it works.
If I can fuck up jump or whatever it is,
oh
I can
God.
fuck up anything.
That's impressive considering it's literally you literally could get a robot to do it.
Yeah.
So Brad, tell us a bit about yourself in terms of things gaming history. What have you how long you've been gaming for?
Oh well, since I was like 4 probably.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So long history.
I've played pretty much everything from I think I owned a Commodore 64, had an Amiga, then Windows PC, Super Nintendo, all the way up through to Series X now.
Gotcha. Right. And so you have been in the past quite a big achievement hunter as well.
I used to be a lot more. I'm not as much now. I mean, I still do it because it's something to do, but for the most part, I'm trying to enjoy stuff more and focus less on grind.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's easier said than done, though, in my case. But
I definitely burnt myself out for a while and wasn't enjoying it. Everything felt like a chore, so I just stopped worrying about it. And as soon as I'm not enjoying myself or something's going to take me 100 hours, I'm just like, nah.
Yeah,
next.
That's fair.
I think that's probably the right attitude to have. I don't know if it'll resonate with too many achievement hunters, but it's probably the right attitude at the very least.
I mean, it's always the dream, isn't it? It's not something we're going to hold ourselves to, but
sure, yeah, right, exactly. Enjoying video games, like that's a lofty goal.
Who would want to do that?
Yeah,
No
right.
one plays for fun.
Exactly. Any other big series in the past or that kind of stuff that you're into outside of? I mean, you said Warhammer, but when you say Warhammer, so you mostly mean the tactical games. But there's been a lot of different stuff in the Warhammer universe.
Yeah, there's heaps. Well, there's a couple of first-person shooters, there's a couple other bits, but I haven't really gone into those because I'm mainly trying to focus on the strategy stuff at the moment.
Gotcha.
Dark Souls, big Dark Souls fan. Looking forward to Elden Ring.
Yeah, it looks so good.
It looks amazing.
Are you gonna pick it up day one, or are you gonna?
I don't know. We'll see. I just started Cyberpunk, so.
Oh right, okay. Yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
Keep
and
you
I'm
busy.
playing through that blind, so just to enjoy it. It's a very good game so far, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to get back into that myself. Actually, it's been sitting here for ages, but now that the next gen patch is out,
yeah, exactly. That's what I've been waiting for. I didn't want to touch it. I've been wanting to play Witcher 3 as well, and as soon as I learned they were going to upgrade that, I've just left it until that happens.
Yeah, no, it's pretty much the same here. I played a little bit of it back last year, but I was like, you know what? Like, I really I've got the Series X, might as well actually use it to its full potential.
And yeah, stuff looks good. Like Cyberpunk is a very pretty game.
Any other questions, you guys? You want to jump in there with?
All Sorry, right, I had myself muted for a second.
Oh my god.
So Halo.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Wow, you know what? Hypocrite. All right, so
I had fun playing the few rounds of multiplayer with you guys, and I did a little bit for like a week, and I haven't touched it since now.
I gotta be honest. The custom, the snipers match that we did was a ton of fun.
That was fun,
and I really wish we could do more of it. But yeah. How many hot tubs do you own?
None.
I got asked to ask questions, so.
Oh, fuck's
well, we
sake.
have to find at least one person with a hot tub so we can do a hot tub stream. Is that how this
All right,
is
yeah.
working? Like?
Actually, yeah, because I'm not buying a hot tub. Those things are fucking expensive.
Fuck no.
I'm not interested in time travel.
Yeah, sure, yeah, exactly. It always ends badly. So I guess I guess we'll go back to achievement hunting then a little bit in terms of how that started with you. I mean, before the burnout, obviously, but what kind of got you into that?
Well, I'd had my 360 for a long time, and then I decided I was going to try and actually start trying to finish some stuff. And I think the first thing I finished was Mass Effect 1.
It's a good choice.
And then just kept going from there. I think for the most part, I try and focus on more like difficult stuff than easy. I don't like easy 5-minute games like a lot of people. I try and go for
not naming
ratio.
any names, but yeah, just yeah, you know.
I go for
what?
Well, I mean, I'm not as worried about true achievements, but I prefer to like go for ratio more than anything these days.
Something with at least a 2.0.
Can I just say? Can I interrupt for a second? It's funny coming from you, Matt, because nobody else has been doing easy completions at the moment.
Really? I mean, I haven't played any easy completions in ages. What are you talking about?
Neither have I. I've been doing stuff like Cuphead and that.
I know. But I said we weren't going to name names. Wasn't going to name names. We just have, a lot of our listeners, maybe, Rapture, maybe.
We have a feed for it now.
Yeah, we do actually. We have a feed for it, actually. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. You could see all the evidence. They can't hide it.
It's like what? Panda started like 6 games today and completed them all within the same scan? Yeah, that's sus.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Yeah, I think if I get it right, I'll probably be at 1 million well before I'm at 500,000 game score.
Like that's like TA, right? That's pretty impressive. Like having anything, like in my mind, having anything over a 2 ratio is pretty ridiculous these days with how much easy stuff there is to do, and just again how difficult games can get, especially with the ratios. I mean, I don't know. Do you play a lot of Game Pass stuff?
Oh yeah, that's like I barely buy anything anymore.
Yeah, same, right? And like that always has a nice ratio bump because a bunch of people start it, but few people finish it.
Yeah, that ends up happening quite a lot. Like things end up getting a lot higher score than they should, but it's not too bad. There's a few people that I like to try, well, not chase, but I follow the stuff that they do because they play fairly high ratio stuff like V-Sully.
Yep.
Play some really high ratio stuff, and I don't have the patience to go for that. Like I said, I'm trying to enjoy things more than the grind, but if I think I've got a good chance of doing something, I'll probably go for it.
I think it's a good attitude to have. Yeah. It's yeah, right. It's like what the Falcon Air is my second highest ratio game that I've completed. It's fucking ridiculous. And it's like that's like one of the worst. It's one of the worst games I've ever played. I don't know who would like that trash. No, it's fine. It's a fun game. All right. Well, yes, Cameron.
I'm glad that we never got the solo dev on the podcast.
It's a joke. It's a joke. I finished the whole damn game. All right.
It was good. When I did it when it was 9K, I thought it was okay.
Yeah, for a 9K ratio game, it's probably just fine.
I think my highest ratios Elite Dangerous is definitely probably up there.
Oh yeah. Have you got that completed?
I did. I think I did. No, I never did finish the multiplayer stuff, but I did all the single player stuff until they put some new achievements in not too long ago.
Gotcha.
And then they've got the whole walking coming out soon, so that'll add some more, I'm sure.
Of course.
I'm trying to think. It would either be Killer Instinct or Halo MCC, I reckon.
Halo MCC will probably be your highest, at least completed, right?
Yeah, Halo MCC will definitely be my highest completed. Yeah, 24,000.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Brad. We appreciate having you on the show.
Happy to be here. Like you said, it's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while. Let's crack into the news. We've got quite a bit this week. So, Cameron, let's start rapid firing through that.
All right, what do you want to start with? The Windows Phone stuff?
Yeah, Windows Phone. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off.
All right, I'm sorry to break it to all these people in the achievement hunting community that probably already are well aware of this. But Microsoft has announced that it's ending support for Windows Phone. Which also, unfortunately, means achievements.
Yeah. Which is... I mean, it's pretty shit, to be honest. Like, it's not... Like, again, like, I know, like, a lot of people are like, whatever, Windows Phone. And I'm kind of in that camp at the moment, you know? Like, I played it when Windows 8 Phone stuff came out, and I did a little bit of 10. I got literally everything but one achievement that I can't get done for the platform that I care about. But yeah, it's a bit unfortunate because, I mean, you know, obviously Kiku, friend of the show, is a huge proponent of the Windows Phone platform. He was very, very upset, to say the least.
He was not happy.
Yeah, considering how much time and effort he's put into basically, you know, badgering Microsoft to keep the servers up for syncing and that kind of thing. I mean, like, you know, he is almost personally responsible for getting Windows Phone syncing to work again after it had been broken for several months. I mean, he did get banned for messaging for like a month on TA because he spammed literally every person he could find. But
I mean, he got it up.
It worked. Yeah, exactly. Got the job done.
TA wasn't going to do anything about it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, it sucks, but I'm just thinking about, like, when I used to have a Microsoft phone, I loved them. Like, I honestly thought they were the best phones on the market during that time. And I mean, like, I wasn't just getting them for the achievements. I quite liked how Windows, like the Windows 8 styling at the time.
The tile system and stuff?
Yeah, the tile system. But, like, there was just no developers supporting them.
Yeah, there were very few apps for it. It was a pain in the ass to get anything.
Yeah. Like, it was quite honestly, like, the best phone to use, but then in terms of support, it was horrible.
Which is why so many of them just moved over to Android, right? Like, that's what Nokia did, basically. They were like, we'll just port them to Android because they're good phones. They were good. They're pretty good quality stuff, but yeah, the software on it just didn't have the support.
Which is, yeah.
Android and Apple were bigger. Like, I went Google. So, like, I originally had a Nokia back in the day because everyone did. Yeah. But I had a Google Nexus, was my first, like, actual phone that I researched and wanted. And that was one of the earlier Android ones. So, like, and then was Apple, and now I'm back to Android again.
I think I went iPhone, hated the iOS because of how simplistic it was.
I loved it for that.
I mean, like, it depends what kind of person you are, really. Like, whether it's going to suit what you need for. So I swapped from that. I swapped to the Nokia Windows phones. Loved them. I think the first one just bricked, but it was, like, well out of warranty, and then I just got a new one. And then after that, I got a Samsung Galaxy Note around the time when the phone started exploding.
Oh my god!
Oh, wow.
The grenade phones couldn't take them on planes and stuff.
Yeah, I think it was the generation before.
Right.
And then I've had a Google Pixel ever since, and I love how Google Pixel is like Android. It does what you need it to do, but it's more like advanced than iOS.
It has a nice form factor to it.
Yeah. Good camera as well.
So I had the Nokia. I had that back, I think, like 6 or 7 years ago, maybe. A bit long. And I enjoyed it. Like you, I liked the tile system and the whole operating system. It was really smooth. Worked well. And yeah, it was a shame that not much apps came out for it. Like anything useful, you pretty much couldn't get.
Yeah. Yeah, like I would. It's the kind of thing where you're like, oh, do they have a, it's like, oh, do they have your banking app? It's like, fuck no way. It's like there's no way they're developing an app for a 2% user base, and the fact that even people at Microsoft were using Android phones instead.
I do wonder how much is on developers not wanting to produce for a lesser used phone, and how much is like the certification process they might have had to go through?
Also true. Yeah. It's I can imagine it's probably like it's probably a bit of both, right? It's just like, well, it's if it's going to cost anything and you're not going to get a good return on it, then they're just not going to support it.
It also felt like they came into the market too late. Like
yeah, definitely.
Way too late.
It was actually when I was at university. It was when I was doing mentoring and that kind of stuff for the 301 paper. One of the projects was actually to put together a marketing campaign for the Windows Phone in New Zealand and Australia. And so it was like a real life project where Microsoft came to students and said, okay, here's the project for a semester, see what you can come up with. I was like, and looking at the ideas, I was like, there's a lot of interesting ideas there, but I don't think any of them were going to move the needle when you looked at the numbers. And you were like, okay, yeah, 2% market share. Yeah, I don't like, what are you going to do?
Which means when half the apps are free,
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. It's a real shame. But I mean, like, I like my Windows. I had the HTC 8X. I remember when that came out and had achievements on it. And I played all those really shitty, like $1 games that I really wish I'd never started. It was like Amazing Alex, that awful physics touch game. Angry Birds.
Cut the rope, yeah.
Yeah, Cut the Rope, exactly. Yeah. Angry Birds, which is the one that many people know that I have, is probably my most hated game of all time.
What else was a popular time? Like Temple Runner, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, Temple, yeah.
All those sort of...
What was the one where you had to... The flight control, where you had to land those planes and stuff? You had to draw circles around and make them fly around and like... and you couldn't make them crash into each other and stuff? Yeah.
I know what you're thinking of. It's essentially what Bomber Crew...
Kind of, yeah.
Like, turned into later on. Like,
and then
adapted.
Yeah, and then, like, stuff like, the tap stuff like Sally Salon and stuff. It's like most of it was easy stuff, but... The other problem was...
This was before the time of, like, Candy Crush and that taking over.
Yeah, kind of. It was around that era. Before it became, like, like, it was still, like, Bejeweled was the big thing back then before Candy Crush became, like, basically was like, hey, PopCap, we're just going to steal that idea.
Well, they stole it from someone else, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, hey, like, Match 3 is nothing new at the end of the day, right?
No, I mean, they actually stole Candy Crush from someone else.
Wait, really? Fuck,
yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It's the whole thing.
That would not surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah, Activision, really?
Oh, no, this is before
I was going to be King, actually. Yeah, true.
King.
Yeah. Match made in heaven, really. Yeah, I guess, I mean, like, so I'm a little sad about it, but, like, I really wish I could get my one achievement, and I've always held out hope that somehow I'd be able to work it out, but...
What was the one that you can get?
Extraction. There is...
actually, I think I know that game.
Yeah, see, it's an okay game. It's a twin stick shooter with no sticks, basically. It's like you drag to shoot at the enemies and stuff.
Yeah.
One of the achievements is glitched on Windows 8 because it was made for Windows 7. So if you get the achievement, and if you earn the achievement, it crashes the game.
Yeah.
And so I had to get and so it's for like doing like 50 skill shots, which is relatively easy, and also meant that I had to make sure I didn't do any skill shots the whole game. Earning all the other achievements. I had to play as poorly as possible. So yeah, it was a bit of a pain in the ass, but I managed to do everything else on the Windows Phone that I started, including Mirror's Edge, which was the one I didn't think I'd finish, because my Windows Phone actually broke before I managed to get it done. I managed to get a new one and find a way and basically sideload the app to be able to run it. But yeah, I'm a bit sad because, like, obviously, like, I don't like seeing achievements becoming discontinued. Is just it's not a good look for the system, and it's unfortunate for those like Adrian and others who didn't get into the Windows Phone like straight away and are trying to catch up and play through all these games.
It's weird when like Windows takes a position of like we're going to support our older stuff and then bam.
I mean, there's older stuff and there's old stuff.
Yeah.
Like
I get the argument, but at the same time, like it's just
optics wise, it's not really exactly. It's a bit iffy.
Like you might be part of the niche, but it's still something that matters to you, kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's achievement hunting through and through, right? We're all part of the niche that we're kind of. It matters a lot to us, even though we're not, the major video game buying public.
I hate it for the series completions. Like Assassin's Creed is the one I want to really get into, and what is it? Altair.
Liberation.
And the Liberation doesn't have a phone one. Was it?
No,
I thought it was.
no, it's Altair's Chronicles.
Altair's Chronicles and the Pirates one.
Yeah, Pirates. Yeah, the 2 Assassin's Creed games.
So I need to see if I can get on them before. But at the same time, like Windows Phone stuff is breaking all the time. So realistically, if it goes down again, I'm not going to be surprised if they don't fix it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, right? Like I did my games, and I was talking to Adrian about it. I was like, oh, do we want to, He's like, hey, you're gonna pick up some other games. You're gonna do some more before it breaks again. And I was like, oh, you know what? Like it's broken so many times, and I nearly got screwed on so many of the other games. I'm just gonna leave it.
Don't tempt it.
Yeah, it's kind of a hard ask.
So yeah, with this news, thousands of achievements will be affected across nearly 300 games, which is. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but realistically, it's a drop in the bucket compared to how many releases are coming out.
Yeah, now we just get the trash short games on the main system, so we don't even need the Windows Phone anymore, really.
Well, when I think Windows Phone, I always think of like 200-hour completion with a whole bunch of microtransactions. So.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's also true. We get those too. What else you got?
Is there anything else you want to touch on the Windows Phone?
Nope, dead. Let it die.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll get all the stuff that we want to rant out of the way. Sea of Thieves. This one has not fucking made me happy.
Yeah, well, you love Sea of Thieves, right? You were trying to get me to start this game. You're like, oh, hey, we're gonna get a crew together.
I was hyped. I was like, all right.
I'm not gonna lie. I was this close. I was like, actually, you know what? Like, if we got a.
If you two had started it, I would have jumped on.
Yeah, like maybe we can.
See, that's the thing. It's like one of those. It's one of those games that's perfect to do like once a week with a crew. Kind of fun.
Hey, maybe that could be our game, Cameron.
I'm doing State of Decay. It's State of Decay 2 now. It's State of Decay 2 all the way. So yeah, Rare has announced it will be discontinuing a bunch of Sea of Thieves Arena achievements when the PvP mode closes on March 10th.
So I'm not sure if we talked about it, but basically they said they were closing down the arena and they were looking into options around what was going to happen with their achievements because they were going to become discontinued at this point.
Yeah. And then they updated and they said, we don't want to screw over our existing player base who have already got the achievements. So we're just discontinuing them.
So we're going to screw over the rest of the people who play the game.
Yeah, it's a real, what's the word? The real backpedal because when it initially came out, there was a few achievements that were like just ridiculously impossible.
Yeah.
Specifically the banana crates.
Yeah.
And they took that and they changed the achievement and made it much easier. And it was fine to do it then for the
wasn't it like 3 months after launch, one guy had unlocked all the achievements that was a Twitch streamer that'd been doing it like day on?
Yeah, but no one really likes that guy.
No, but I mean like...
Wow,
alright, cool. Perfect example. Sorry. No, I mean like the fact though that he had been doing it every single day for like 3 months to get it shows how difficult it was. And then they're like, alright.
And he wasn't even doing it properly. Like he had a big Discord channel and anyone that found one, they tagged him and he'd hop into that game and do it.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of the Sea of Thieves community weren't a fan.
Right. Yeah, which makes sense. So I can understand why they patched the achievements early on. I don't understand now why they put out a statement saying we are unwilling to compromise in a way that would disrespect the efforts of players who fully met the original criteria. So alongside retiring the arena as a game mode, we'll also be retiring the accompanying achievements.
Yeah,
I think they said themselves like less than like 2% of players have ever spent time in the arena at all. So the percentage of players that have actually done it, who are they trying to stop upsetting?
So you're trying to please like this is the problems I have with this statement. Yeah, you're trying to please 1 in 50 players. Sorry, less than 1 in 50 players because 1 in 50 players have technically played the mode.
2%, yeah.
Yep. So you're trying to appease to them. You're alienating everybody that cares about achievements in the slightest because there's so many options of game like live service games that you can pick from. Why am I going to go with one that is discontinuing their achievements when I could quite easily say, well, all my buddies are playing Warframe. I'm going to jump in Warframe and do that as my grind.
Yeah, right. It's kind of it's a multi-level thing, right? Because you're pissing off your existing people who are playing it who don't have time to earn the achievement. You're pissing them off who do have time but now have to just throw everything at this and spend 50 hours grinding this out in the next week.
Book a week off work.
Exactly, right? and then you're pissing off a bunch of people who are like me, who are like, I was like, oh, I was thinking about starting this game, and like, I'm not going to bother now. Like, I'm just like, you know what? Like, it's not because like, you know, again, if this was the best game ever, I might still consider it, but it's Sea of Thieves for fuck's sake. Like, I was still on the fence to start with, and like, this is just pushing me away from it.
It's a good game, but to me, it's only a good game when you have good company.
Sure, which is true of just about every game ever made. So I don't know.
Any social game, yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, because I don't know.
I played Sea of Thieves at launch. I didn't really care for it, but like going back with Robbie and Red like a week or two ago, and getting like a bunch of achievements, having 4 crews on one ship, and then just Robbie being like, "All right, can we quickly get these 2 achievements out of the way?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure," and then they sunk us. But I mean, it was bound to happen. The fact that they're just like, "Nah, sleep in our bed, get the achievements, fine. Now we're gonna kill you. It's all good."
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a good game. I just don't understand. Like, there's an obvious solution where it's like, all right, if there's content such as like outfits or accessories or anything that's tied to Arena that's not being affected by, like, not related to an achievement, that's fine. That's exclusive content for those people that have earned it. If you're going to the point though of like, why not just rework the achievements and make them twice as hard as what the requirements were originally? Like, yeah, I would still be fine with that. It's more so like, you're still respecting those players because you're making something harder to obtain, but you're still making it obtainable.
Yeah, I mean, even if they make it the same level of difficulty or time investment and they just change it to something else, like, I mean, again, like we've talked about this, like we had Vudix on the show to talk about the whole achievement system, right? And how essentially it's like, oh, you know, if you have discontinued achievements on your on your game, you are technically in violation of Microsoft's policies, right? And so it's like, you know, you can be technically removed from the service. Obviously, that's not going to happen, right? I mean,
yeah, they are Microsoft. It's just the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, exactly, right, exactly. That's 100%.
So the only problem I have with that is I don't know what Vudix's like timing for that was. Right. We usually have there's 2 different achievement systems. There's one that came out 2013 and one that came out in 2017. I don't know if they have the same
requirements,
yeah.
Right? But still, like this is a Microsoft studio. They should be putting their best foot forward.
Yeah.
And I know they like to break their own fucking rules when it comes to, you know, how many achievements you even put in a game. But like, come on, like they should be setting the example for what should be done when things like this happen.
Yeah.
But again, this is just the problem with live service games in general. I don't know.
It just it feels like a massive misstep and a horrible missed opportunity.
Yeah, and who knows? Again, I mean, shit. Like next thing you know, they'll be coming out with NFTs, and they'll get pushed back on that as well. So it's like, well, we'll see. I'm sure. Like, again, the achievement community will probably be getting on their case, especially considering, you know, the kinds of people who are achievement hunters and play Sea of Thieves are a special kind of crazy. I get the feeling they're probably going to be getting a few emails. So who knows if this decision might change. I hope so, but...
Well, I know Robbie and Panda are like grinding like crazy to try and get it done.
Yeah.
And they're just like, we got like 10 matches done in 4 hours or something, I think it was.
Fuck.
Yeah, I should probably get onto it, but...
Yeah.
It's one of those things though, like you've got like just under 4 weeks.
Yeah, which is
I could do it.
Do it, but like that's a fucking miserable few weeks.
That's literally all I'm doing for a month, if that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I don't like games like that though.
People to do it with.
I don't like games like that where I'm just like, all right, I'm forced to grind 50 hours in a week to try and get something done. I want to have that experience where it's like, hey, let's get a bunch of the Discord together. Let's make Tuesday nights Sea of Thieves nights. We all jump in or whatever, you know?
Yeah. I don't know, Charlotte, have you looked at Sea of Thieves at all?
I have a couple of times because, like, I mean, I fucking love pirates. So, like,
it's a very fun game.
So I had it installed. I got as far as looking at the characters, and then I didn't go back to it. I have no idea why or what stopped me from actually playing it, but I think it was because I was trying to do it and like go into it by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it was back when I'd first got my Xbox. I didn't play with anyone. I was only part of the RGS Discord at the time. So I didn't really have anyone that I could be like, hey, do you want to play Sea of Thieves? Or or like actually ask people who wanted to play or anything like that. So I was like, well, I'm just going to play it by myself. I can't really be bothered. So
it's definitely much more brutal if you're a solo player.
Yeah. And I love Pirates of the Caribbean, so
I have been grinding it on and off. Like sometimes that's all I'll play for a couple of months.
Yeah.
And I play it solo majority of the time, and I mean I enjoy playing it that way, but it can make it a lot difficult.
I guess it depends on the person. Like,
yeah.
So
ultimately, I prefer to play alone, but I'm getting to the point where I'm kind of like, I actually wouldn't mind having games with other people once a week, or like having something that I've got like a plan once a week. That would be actually pretty cool.
So I just want things to break up the mold.
We had that, and it lasted a month or two. We played.
You have to have people committed. Like,
what did we do? We did we nearly did Strange Brigade, and we were playing something before that as well.
Remnant from the Ashes.
That's it, Remnant from the Ashes.
Okay. Remnant lasted a while, and then the
they took a long time though. To be fair,
Remnant
you guys actually finished it.
Yeah, that
if you get me into a multiplayer game, I will be in it for years. I am currently, my D&D group has been going for almost 2 years, and that's weekly sessions for almost 2 years.
It's been
I've always wanted to try D&D, but never knew people to get into it with.
Yeah, it can be a little bit tricky. Like, I've got 2 now that I'm playing, so I do one online with people that are all around New Zealand, and then another one that's in person. I don't mind. Both are pretty cool. Like, the one that's online is shorter. The one that's in person is better. I prefer that. But yeah, you need to have the right people. And you do need at least like 5. Like,
and I don't like people. People annoy me, so it's difficult.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's always difficult.
If I ever get like good enough, I'll let you know.
Do you want to quickly fire through some of these other stories, Cameron?
All right, let's quickly smash through them. So we talked about Windows Phone, we talked about Sea of Thieves. Quickly go through. I'll do the Aggro Crab one because I really like it. So Aggro Crab came out with a little bit of merch, which is a beautiful I fucking hate it here shirt with a nice little crab wearing Timberlands. They're doing that basically just off the NFT stuff where they put out the response, I fucking hate it here, in response to Team 17. They also announced that all proceeds for this shirt will be going to... They originally had like one charity, but then they got questioned about it, and then they looked into it a little bit more and went, actually, we could probably be doing something else. I can't remember what the original one is now, but it's going to the ocean cleanup.
Oh, yep.
Which is apparently a much better one.
So it's going to Mr. Beast.
Yeah, God.
And then they also... donations will be matched by Kowloon Knights, which I guess also means we're announcing our partnership with them on Game 2.
Oh, that's cool.
So it looks from that they might not be working with Team 17 anymore.
Yeah,
if they're talking about a publishing deal.
Yeah. Well, no, good for them. Yeah, I'm glad that they're making waves.
What did they make?
Going Under.
Oh, right,
it's in Game Pass.
Yeah, that was good.
Fucking love it.
Oh yeah, I already finished it.
Yeah, so I love how they tackle community management, and like just the posts they put out are just like, hey, all right, it's Valentine's Day. Here's some crabs. You want crabs? There's crabs. It's like,
yeah, that's what every Valentine wants, crabs.
Like, here's some picture of our crabs doing like multiple things. Don't fucking turn it into an NFT. Like just stuff like that. Anyway,
they have a good attitude for it.
Yeah. So that was Quick Story. Do you want to talk about the Life is Strange? The TV segment of the, TV and film segment of the podcast.
Yeah, so we've got a few things as we've been talking about adaptations recently. BioShock is being turned into a Netflix film adaptation. That story has been in the works for years. I remember when the game first came out, and they were like, "Oh yeah, absolutely, we're doing like we're going to do like a TV or movie adaptation. We've got all these directors lined up and stuff," and just nothing ever came of it. So I can't say I'm surprised, but I'm glad that it sort of resurfaced. If you'll excuse the pun.
Yeah. I haven't read into this. Is it animated or not? Because that's going to depend. Like that's going to gauge the quality.
I don't think they've said, but I think there's leaning towards a live action film.
All right, so pass. Cool.
I mean, like I'm interested. So
I'll watch it.
Pass asterisk for watch for LCA.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'd be perfect for lights, camera, and action, right?
I'll watch it, but I won't be happy about it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. And so we were talking about it at the party earlier, actually, around like what they would base it on, whether it would just be like a straight adaptation of the first game, or whether they try to do something a bit more like Infinite, where it's a bit more nebulous and there's a lot more going on to make it a bit more interesting. I don't know. I feel like they'll probably just do the first game, right? They'll just do.
I think they'll go the darker tone.
Yeah, and do the sort of Andrew Ryan story.
I want more adaptations set in the universe. Like
I want a cool universe.
I want stuff like Detective Pikachu. Like use that universe as a backdrop and make a cool story.
Yeah, that's probably the right way to go about it.
It's already got cool stories.
I mean, it does, but the last thing
Cameron would know. He skipped all the scenes. he just powered through all the dialogue.
Look, would you kindly make a good Bioshock film?
I mean, yeah, hopefully. That's the dream, right? Man chooses, slave obeys. Right. Yeah. Apparently, yeah. There was some talks about it last year. So, especially with the new game potentially coming out, maybe that's going to be like a tie-in with that. They're looking at maybe it's like, oh, we'll do we're doing Bioshock 4. Here's a prequel movie or something. I think that would, that's kind of how these things are going now. Where it's it's funny because it used to be, oh, you had a video game based on you had a video game. A really shit video game based on a recent released movie, but now it's like, oh, actually, it's going to be part of this universe because everything's part of a, fucking MCU. So they just can't let it go.
Everyone tries to copy it, but no one goes anywhere near it.
No, exactly. Yeah, DC has tried many times.
DC tried. Universe tried with their monster.
The fucking dark universe shit with Dracula and
just like
and the Mummy.
Just like James Gunn did the Kevin Feige of DC. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I mean, that is probably what's going to happen.
I think he's probably happy to bounce between the two. I don't think he wants to settle with one.
Yeah, especially with Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff.
Peacemaker is a fantastic show.
And he's doing all of season 2.
If no one's watched Peacemaker yet,
I've started watching the first episode.
So
I've got to wait
it's on the list. I haven't, again.
I've almost finished it.
I'll be watching the last episode tonight.
That dance number that you told me about
so
at the very start.
I listen to that song just about every day on my way to work. I love it.
It's like one of the shows that I don't skip the intro because
that's why James Gunn did it. He's done an interview and he said the reason he made that dance number is because he wanted to make people forget the skip intro button.
Right. I mean, hey, that's great.
It works.
I do hope that season 2 he comes up with a new song and new dance.
I hope so. That would be good. It needs to be something different.
I mean, hell, if anime can change their intros every half a season, I'm sure they can come up with a new one for.
They're still making the Borderlands movie too, aren't they?
Yeah, that's supposedly still happening. I don't
know if it's been delayed or anything.
I remember seeing. Who's the main? One of the main actors in it.
We got Jack Black. You got.
Shit! I can't remember who it was, but I remember there was like this video clip going around where Randy Pitchford was like trying to interact with them, and they just did not give a shit.
Right. So Kate Blanchett's in it.
Kate Blanchett, Kevin Hart.
Yeah, Kevin Hart. Yeah,
that's what I was
it might have been Kevin Hart. Yeah. But Randy Pitchford standing there trying to talk to him, get him involved, and the guy just does not want to know Randy Pitchford at all.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Randy Pitchford is a cunt for wanting of a better word. Just like unequivocally.
Understatement of the century.
Yeah, right. Well, we know what he can do with some magic, right? I don't want to get cancelled. Fuck it, I kind of do, but
I mean, it can be arranged.
Yeah, true.
If you're big enough to get cancelled, you've made it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, that's how you know. That's 100%. How you know when you make it and then lose it. There are a few other bits and pieces happening as well. The Halo TV series, which I've been ragging on, has been renewed for season 2 before it even comes out.
Because Paramount Plus needs content.
I was going to say, it's like that. That's the sure sign that they're like, man, fuck, we need to get some more stuff on this. They were like, wow.
Isn't even the first season like sort of iffy because the people are doing over the music? And they're trying to put an injunction on the release.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So we talked about that last week. Yeah. So with Marty O'Donnell and stuff, talking about essentially how they had part of their agreement with Bungie and with Microsoft was that even if they re-record the music for Halo, they need to be consulted on it, or
Well, it wasn't even with Microsoft because Microsoft didn't even own Bungie at the time. It was solely with Bungie, and Microsoft came in and like, Oh no, that was work for hire music, so we own that.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, absolutely fucking not. It was not.
Yeah,
So,
it was in the contract. So that'll be interesting to see how that court case goes.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if the show is just not going to come out. We'll see what happens. But
actually, a lot of really interesting court cases going around with like ownership rights and stuff like that. Like I don't know how much you know about like copyright stuff, but
a little bit.
At the moment, Marvel's in the sort of thing where after X amount of years, the rights to some of their stuff go back to the creators, and because the people are dead, the people that own are looking after the estate, and it's a whole thing. So there's a bunch of people that are getting a bit screwed over with it.
Weirdly, there's another story about Ice Age and the
the squirrel,
the rat Scrat. Yeah, so there's a woman who created Scrat and like pitched this family of like rats, Ice Age rats, to the movie studio beforehand. Yeah, and then they appropriated it. So
yeah, they said, "No, we're not interested in the show, but we'll take this little guy." And
we'll take him. And so now they actually have to pay her out, and he's now removed from any future Ice Age movies.
Wow. I mean, shit, like he was supposed to be.
And that was the only reason to watch it.
And he was in 4.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the whole shit with the fucking acorn was the only reason those movies were, watchable.
I wonder how long she was playing the suit, or she was just waiting until
I think she's been trying to do it for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I thought maybe,
she's been fighting them for a long time.
Wait, see how popular the series gets. Wait till it peaks.
Yeah, and
then profits are going to start sinking, and then
cash
go
in.
Kill.
Yeah, exactly.
we forgot to list it, but also talking about Paramount Plus, you have the Sonic movie 3 being announced.
Yep, they got greenlit, and apparently they're doing a Knuckles TV show as well.
Honestly, Sonic movie was very good. I am very much looking forward to it.
It is a very pleasant movie. It's essentially Hop, but
so you keep telling me again this movie that none of us have ever seen.
Maybe Hop's essentially Sonic.
Yeah, I don't.
Hop came out first.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
How long ago was Sonic released on the Sega?
Got to go fast, man.
When was it adapted as a movie? Also, because it relates nothing whatsoever. Blue's Clues is getting a movie with all the free hosts.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Yeah, okay, whatever.
Okay.
But yeah,
you'll suck.
Yeah, whatever.
Watch good movies, Cameron.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm the only person here with a daughter. It's fine. Anyway, moving on.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with that.
No. I mean, I do, but whatever.
Wow, you have an issue with me having kids? Wow.
No,
wow.
Having a kid doesn't give you an excuse to have bad taste.
Yeah, exactly. That's more what I was going down. Yeah, exactly. Don't blame her.
Look, I need an excuse to buy Blue's Clues stuff.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, is to try and put Bluey music in our intro and get us copyright strikes. Yeah. So I like Sonic. Like Sonic 3. I'm sure it'll be like I'm interested in Sonic 2. Sonic the original movie is like our 3rd highest rated movie on Lights Camera and Action. Spoilers for people who haven't listened to the episode, but yeah, like we loved it.
They should go and join the Patreon and then listen to the episodes.
Please, someone join the Patreon and listen to that show. No one fucking listens to it.
Someone listen to it.
It was nice to see Jim Carrey finally be Jim Carrey again.
Yeah, actually, yeah, exactly right. To be back doing and he's like the best part of that movie.
His recent stuff, like his darker stuff, has been pretty. There was a show on, I think it was on Stan called Kidding, where he played like a puppet dude, and that was really good. I was a bit disappointed when that got cancelled.
Yeah,
I've never.
But I mean, I like Idris Elba as well, and I'm sure Knuckles. I'm sure. It just means we're going to get more Ugandan Knuckles memes. So, I'm fine with that. I'm totally okay with that. And then the last thing is that apparently Life is Strange and Disco Elysium, 2 very different games, both apparently getting TV show adaptations as well. I'm interested. Life is Strange kind of would fit that formula quite well, especially the original game kind of fits that sort of teen drama.
I'm wondering if they adapt
TV show now. It's not as much of a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Exactly, right.
I'm wondering if it adapts it from the original story, if they do their own thing.
Probably. I mean, it's going to be like Riverdale, but hopefully a little less ridiculous.
It's going to be live action, yeah?
Yes, yeah. And then there's, it was... But I'm actually more interested in Disco Elysium.
Oh yeah,
Have you
I've
played
heard
it
very
yet?
good things about it.
No, it's been again sitting there for ages. I've got it ready to play, but it's one of those ones that takes quite. It's like it's a 200-hour plus game. Like it's a big investment.
One game of the year though, didn't it?
It did, yeah, it did. A few places at one game of the year. I'm super excited to see what they do with that because that's a fucking game. Like that's from everything I've read and heard about it. Just like it is a callback to old style CRPGs where it's all dialogue based, all like skill checks, and all interconnected. Like it's it takes place over like a city block. So it'd be interesting. I'd be sure. I'd love to see if it was a show that's kind of like like The Wire, but with like kind of slightly weirder shit. Where it's like kind of like it's not a happy world. This place. So I'm very very excited to see where they go with it. So I forgot to mention Amazon's the one who essentially signed the deal for them to do it.
Yeah, they've been picking up a lot lately.
And apparently, DJ2 Entertainment is the studio who also co-produced the Sonic movie. So that's kind of apparently what they're looking at. Yeah, so I mean, hey, we'll be very interested to see what happens with that. I'm sure we'll have more things going forward, but yeah, like Life is Strange and Disco Elysium, like that's pretty big narrative titles. So, and I'm sure they'll end up on Lights, Camera, and Action at some stage.
Yeah. Two things I want to quickly mention. First one is Hop is Good by Keel in the chat. So yeah, I've got that support. Second one, if you could adopt anything into any game into a TV series or a movie, what would you do?
Well, before this, I would have said BioShock, right? Like that's always the one that I was like, oh, like I'd be interested to see like obviously I'm not like interested in like, oh, how can they change the medium and the source? Like I just want to see who they cast and how they do it. Like, like I'd love to see like an old Tom Hanks as Andrew Ryan, like just being like a real shitheel. And like, like seeing a, well, I don't know how I would do for like Sander Cohen or like, yeah, there's a lot of potential there, but I don't know. I'll give it some thought. What do you guys think? Cameron, I'm sure you probably got a couple of ideas.
Psychonauts is a TV series.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be really good.
And then The Artful Escape is like a trippy movie.
Oh, yeah.
I can see that.
I actually don't know what I think would be
like, and The Artful Escape has to be animated. Like, there's
obviously, yeah, right.
I have an answer.
Yes.
Hades.
Yeah, actually, Hades would be.
In saying that, so one of my webtoon comics is actually being made into a TV series at some point.
Are you talking about
Olympia?
Lore Olympus.
Lore Olympus, right? Yeah. Right.
Which is my absolute all-time favorite, and there's books out, and I need to get the books when I actually have money.
Half the reason my ex agreed on the name Persephone is Lore Olympus.
Yeah, I can see that, but that's also a bit weird.
I know, she was a bit weird.
But it's one of my favorites, and it's one of the reasons why I studied Greek mythology when I was in high school and then university as well. And so like Lore Olympus is amazing, and that is kind of like a different version. But if Hades was then turned into a TV show, oh my god, I'd be like, I can see it as an anime.
Yeah, like an animated, like like a Groundhog Day, like every day. Yeah, repeat the same day, but you see it from a different character perspective.
Like the only thing
that'd be so cool.
The only thing it would really have to do is write is like those conversations.
Yeah, I think the dialogue is one of the best things about that game.
There's probably a YouTube video out there that has all of this and dust done for us to go and watch.
Honestly, I'm sure there's a video essay basically outlining why it's the greatest idea and basically should be done. But yeah, that's a good shout actually.
I'm trying to think of any others.
I don't really know. Like
the problem is like the best games that would make movies are narrative games, but you've already seen the narrative, so you don't really need to see it as a show.
Exactly, and if you pick a game that's gameplay heavy, then what's the fucking point of taking the gameplay out of it?
But I mean, I'm trying. That's what they're doing with Cuphead, really.
Kind of, yeah.
That's the sort of thing you would need, where you could take it and turn it into something else.
But like Cuphead kind of works out because it's going to be like shorts, and because like that art style is so evocative of a previous style of cartoons that already existed.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of like a special case, but I 100% see what you mean though.
I got another one. Forgotten City.
Yeah, Forgotten City would be interesting. I don't know how they would do it though, because again, one of those.
I don't know, but it's just that challenge. Like,
yeah, it would make a good mystery show.
It makes me think of a show that's already out, but but is fucking weird and has that time travel thing.
It makes me, you know what?
With Elijah Wood.
Oh, you're thinking of Dirk
Gently's, yeah.
Dirk Gently's, yeah.
Because that has that same
I was
mechanic.
thinking more of a Life on Mars.
Oh, okay, yeah. I can see that. Life on Mars was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a serial cop show kind of, but like detective.
Maybe like not so much like the games, but doing something like the Tales from the Borderlands, where they tell different stories in that setting, but it's not about the overarching like story of the games.
Yeah, I think it's
What about a Plague Tale?
Plague Tale
that would
really
make
good.
a really good like
cool.
that would be a good like full-on HBO series or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
that's a fantastic idea.
We've already like touched on it with LCA quite a bit, but like I think the best kind, like the stuff that highly rates for us, is the stuff that uses the universe as the setting and then just chucks everything else out the window.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I mean, like, there's something to be said for something that's a very faithful adaptation that manages to do it. Like, again, the original Mortal Kombat is our highest rated movie on there, right? Because it is so true to what those games are without, like, trying to mid-90s it up too much, right?
But, like, you think Mortal Kombat at the same time, though, it doesn't really have that much
exactly.
story.
Well, I mean, it does.
It gives them, like, those kind of video games give you enough of a like wriggle room to adapt the story however you need. Same with Sonic, same with like Pokemon with Detective Pikachu.
Sonic, I don't know, but Detective Pikachu, sure. Yeah.
I mean, Sonic, you essentially have the world, and then
yeah, sure. But again, they basically use none of it. Sonic and Eggman are the only two consistent things in that universe. Everything else is just shut out from Montana.
What I'm saying is, though, you can adapt one thing of the original medium and then make that still good. Dead Rising, for example. Like, realistically, it's just the environment, but I fucking loved that movie, like, going back to it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, it is a good movie.
I thought of a couple more.
Sure.
But I wonder how they would actually be adapted. Like, what if you did, like, say, Yes, Your Grace? That wouldn't actually be that hard to adapt to a TV show or a movie.
The problem with that is it's like, again, anything where player agency is one of the most important things.
And you get to choose. Yeah, you have to pick and choose, right?
Yeah, which makes it difficult, right? Because it's like you don't have as many stakes when you don't make the bad choice.
Technically, you could do it like as a Bandersnatch kind of thing.
Yeah, but
I don't think that really paid off.
But
there's a reason why they haven't redone
turning
it.
into a TV game, right?
Yeah.
And the other ones that I thought of, which is basically like, hey, plug LCA, free guy. Saints Row or Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah, actually, that was
if they did it like that would work.
Yeah, I'd love to see a Saints Row movie just to see how the fuck they do it. Because again, like I actually quite like the story in those games because it's just like it's fucking ridiculous. And they jump the shark several times and they're very, very aware of it. Like I'd love to see them get real actors to do that ridiculous shit and just CGI the shit out of it. Yeah, I can see that.
There's a whole ton of other games like The Ascent. You could just use it for the universe.
Yeah. I mean, Cyberpunk kind of makes sense. I mean, The Witcher was like
proved see, that's the sort of things. Cyberpunk would be good because you don't have to focus on the main character in that story. There's so much stuff going on in that game. You could just make it about anybody.
Dark Knight
exactly. Yeah, that technically, yeah. All right. Well, we've probably beaten that horse to death, so let's move on.
Last thing I was going to say, I won't be surprised if they announce a Destiny show soon. Bungie want to get into different mediums.
Yeah, you're right. Bungie now, especially now that Bungie.
That's one of the things that Sony wants them for. Sony are looking to build big production stuff.
And
which makes sense. I mean, hey, like they're already in movies, right, with Sony Pictures stuff, so it makes perfect sense, especially with what they're doing with, who knows? Maybe they'll make a Spider-Man movie. Well, they're doing like Last of Us as well, right? And they did like a Ratchet and Clank movie. So
are they doing Last of Us?
Did they do Ratchet and Clank?
Ratchet and Clank, yeah. Well, they did like a CG movie a couple of years back, yeah. It was quite good actually. It's based on the first game, or based on the re-release of the first game that they did.
They just did Uncharted, and from what
they just did Uncharted. Fucking boring and just kind of super middling, which is what we expected, right? Like that's the other thing is that
they didn't get Nathan Fillion. That was their biggest mistake. I'm sorry.
I mean, apparently they made a lot of mistakes, but we'll have to watch it for Lights, Camera, and Action, I'm sure.
I mean, he's amazing. I do love Nathan Fillion.
Me too.
I'm watching The Rookie at the moment. I just love it.
Oh man, if only there was like a Firefly video game.
Yeah.
Like, I love
Firefly would be an amazing video game.
Well, okay, there's an RPG. We could do a D&D game for that. And there is also a board game, but
I remember
no video game.
I remember there's a story about a Comic-Con where they were doing the board game section, and Nathan Fillion just happened to wander through and asked a bunch of fans who were playing the Firefly board game if he could play with them, and they were all like, and then he decided to play River as his character. That was hilarious. I was like, great.
Oh my god,
perfect.
They should get Telltale to get the rights for it.
Yeah,
Make
actually,
Telltale game of Firefly, and then cut it off in the third episode.
Actually, you know what? What they do
is episode 3 is actually the first one you play, and they just mix them all up, so it doesn't make any sense. Thanks, Fox.
You just made me think live action Wolf Among Us, because
and then do a DLC that's just like a complete runoff.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, live action Wolf Among Us. Most of the Telltale stuff could be adapted pretty well.
Like all I'm thinking of is Grimm. Like essentially like Grimm.
Yep.
I can see it.
I mean, these days it's just the days of the comics and graphic novels, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Being made into a show, and everything just about is good. I mean,
like decent.
Crap.
I try and think sometimes though, is this just my bubble, or is it?
No, it really does feel like a lot of that.
You've got the Boys,
The Boys Diabolical looks amazing.
Yeah.
You got that. You got The Boys Diabolical. You got Invincible.
Yeah,
that's really good.
That's really good.
Walking Dead and their spin-off.
What's the one with the guy who sees the flying pony thing? Happy.
What? Oh, Happy. Happy's
good.
Happy.
That was really
good.
Happy.
That was a very good show.
Yeah, Happy's great.
Donkey thing.
Yeah.
Happy's amazing.
I love that they cast the SVU guy in that.
He was right. Yeah, it's
it was
fantastic.
Perfect.
So basically, as long as the CW doesn't get their hands on it, it'll probably whatever they make will probably be pretty good.
I should know.
Wait, you don't have hopes of Powerpuff Girls?
What's the CW stand for?
Well, it used to be like DC, right? Well, that was and hang on.
I just don't know what the CW actually stands for.
What does CW stand for? It stands for is derived from the letters of the first name of the corporations, CBS and Warner Brothers.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, like as much as I enjoyed Titans, I haven't caught up with the latest season. I kind of enjoyed that show, even though it's like kind of shit.
I can't enjoy anything live action pretty much made by DC because I know they just don't know what they're doing.
No, they haven't got a fucking clue. Yeah, but like Titans was okay because they kind of had some interesting stuff with the mythology, but like trying to keep up with the Arrowverse is just like fuck that.
I watched a little bit of Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol's not okay bad. Because that's like in its own universe.
Well, because Doom
Patrol's really good.
Doom Patrol was spun off from Titans because that's where Beast Boy comes from, right? So that's kind of where that is. But again, I think that's like completely separate from like the Flash, Arrowverse, Legends of Tomorrow, and all that shit. That it's like I'm Supergirl.
It's on its own.
Yeah, which
I'll be honest. I just watched Teen Titans and I'm happy with that. And I'll leave it there.
Teen Titans cartoon was so good. Anyway, we're getting massively off topic.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a games.
Yeah,
podcast.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's gone into like TV podcasts.
Well, let's get into the Game Pass updates then.
I've got 2 other news stories. I'm gonna go through.
Yeah, I'll be quick then.
Cyberpunk was rumored to be hitting Game Pass this week. Now, that didn't turn out, now did it?
Mm-hmm.
So Cyberpunk's patch 1.5 came out with the Series X and Series S update.
And PS5, just to be fair.
And PS5.
And got leaked the day before.
Got leaked the day before, and that's why people thought it was coming to Game Pass. But then they announced it's getting a free 5-hour trial.
Yep. So, I mean, hey, that's plenty of time.
But it's also on special.
Yeah. I mean, it's half price. I've seen the game for like $29.
Yeah, they're basically giving it away at stores. So
it's about $20 at the moment.
It's going to get more pricey now that they've started fixing things, but each their own.
So now's probably the time to pick it up. I'm sure it'll end up in Game Pass in a few months or so, though.
I'll talk about it like for games that I've been playing. I'm sure Brad will as well. But it seems to be running fine. I haven't run into any bugs.
I had one bug in like the first main story mission bit. But it was like a funny bug.
Right.
Funny bug?
What happened?
The guy that you hang out with, Jackie or something like that, he turned around and he walked through a bunch of lockers and the doors swung open on them.
Oh. Perfect.
That's it.
Fair
So
enough.
far.
But yeah, like anybody else other than me and Brad checking it out?
I will be checking out in March.
I will be doing it in March as well.
Our good friends, the Xbox Cast, are doing Cyber March, which doesn't mean what you think it means, unfortunately. But Cyberpunk at least is still, sounds like fun. So I've been waiting for an opportunity. This is probably the right way to go about it.
Yeah.
Now the update's out. I've got a copy of it, so yeah, should be good.
There's also the first DLC which has come out, which is 3 that has extra weapons and attachments. There's also randomized sales unlocked from the start of the game. Development team in the second DLC added the ability to change your physical appearance mid-game with plenty of additional hair pieces and lipstick, which the devs seemed hyped about. And the third update allows you to customize your apartment with 1 of 6 options. There are 4 new rentable apartments with different price points and styles. And there seems to be plenty of Easter eggs to be discovered.
Yeah, so again, it's come a long way since the trash fire of the previous, was it 2020?
Yeah, December 2020, which
is weird to think, right?
I was thinking about, like it wasn't really that long ago. All
it
things
was,
considered.
yeah. I did have to laugh though when they were showing it off on that stream. They were like, "Oh, I've got improved stuff with pedestrians and with drivers and stuff," and then just in the corner of it, you just see a car just crash into the back of another one, and just do like a flip and glitch, and he just slowly pans the camera to the left, to just kind of, I get like and then
like the Arrested Development music.
The Curb Enthusiasm, exactly. Yeah, so again, like they did laugh about it and like, hey, shit happens, right? But it was just really funny for them to be like, oh yeah, we've redone the whole game, and just the minute they do that, it's a live demo, shit can happen. But
yeah.
But of course, it's going to happen there. It's like Murphy's Law.
Exactly. All right, Cameron, what's happening in the Game Pass space?
I'm still got one. I'm quickly going for this news story because I think it's cool.
All right.
Horizon Forbidden West came out this week.
Not an Xbox game. Never heard of it. What are you talking about?
Whatever.
Honestly, I've watched stuff. That game looks amazing.
It does. Okay, yeah, 100%. It looks amazing.
It does.
It's getting really good reviews. It's probably going to be like one of the games of the year. The only reason I'm bringing this up is Sony has actually partnered with the Arbor Day Foundation to plant a tree for every unlock of the Reach the Daunt trophy. The Pay and Plant program will end on March 25th, 11:59 p.m., where essentially everybody that unlocks this trophy, they're going to plant 1 tree.
It's pretty cool.
Which I think is pretty cool in terms of trophy and achievement hunting realistically are kind of the same.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, does that counteract the NFT?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So yeah, they then cut that tree down to power and NFT. So unfortunately, it's just basically end up where you started. But you got the trophy at least.
So I'll be honest, I don't know anything about Horizon Forbidden West past that. Apparently, it's really an amazing game.
The visuals are beautiful.
Yeah. In the sequel, is it Aloy?
Aloy, yeah. So it's
Eloy, whatever.
Must save the planet from a rogue terraforming system which has created blighted environments threatening humanity with famine. And then, all this. She also has a beard, apparently, according to Twitter.
Yeah, so where basically it's like, people telling on themselves. Essentially, it's like the thing where it's like, oh, hey, TikTok is only has thoughts and swimsuits, and it's like, yeah,
not real women.
Yeah, and that's an algorithm, right? It's based on what you look for and what you watch, right? And you're like, oh, it was exactly like that, where it's like, what are these women do? What is this woman doing with facial hair? She's like, she has hair on her face. It's like, yeah, we know that you've never seen a woman. That's what
never seen a woman up close.
You don't need to advertise it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like we just you might as well just say incel. Like you just. But yeah, apparently there's a whole thing going around where a bunch of people who have never seen a woman before in real life are like, oh hey, this woman has a beard, and it's like she has like peach fuzz on her face like a normal human being does, and it's like I saw a Twitter post. It was one of the interesting side effects that video game fidelity has gone to the point where people who don't normally see women will now see them, and are being confused.
God.
But hey,
wait.
I love how
have hair on their face.
Dun, dun, dun.
Not Cameron, obviously, but
Hey, I shaved before the podcast. Leave me alone.
It's the only one.
Swimsuit.
I did not bother.
Yeah, right. All right. Okay, now get into the Game Pass stuff, Cameron.
All right, cool. Give me a moment to bring it up.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
All right, so Game Pass updates, pretty much available now. Mass Effect Legendary Edition coming to cloud through EA Play. Feb 17th, which was yesterday. Lawn Mowing Simulator was meant to come out, but it got delayed. I'm not sure how long it got delayed for.
Just a couple of days, I think.
Couple of days? Cool. Madden NFL 22, console and PC, EA Play. Total War Warhammer 3. Does that have achievements? Are you aware of that?
If on True Achievements there is like a page for it for the console version,
Right.
not for the PC one, as far as I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
Feb 22nd, we get RoboQuest in game preview. I'm really hoping it gets achievements because it looks pretty awesome.
I've seen that; it looks pretty fun.
And that's not even out of early access yet. So,
Oh.
and apparently,
It might not come with achievements if it's in early access. So.
Yeah, it might not come with achievements, but people are giving it really high praise.
Oh, apparently, Total War does have achievements.
Okay, so
They just got added to the site like yesterday, I think. So you can see. No one's finished it yet, obviously, but yeah.
Feb 20.
Total War. Sorry, I was going to say Total War are big games, so don't expect that to be.
Can be like 200-hour plus kind of stuff, yeah.
Yeah, easy.
They're very big games.
So Feb 24th, we're getting Galactic Civilizations 3 on PC, Super Mega Baseball 3 on console through EA Play, and Feb 28th, we're getting Alice Madness Returns on PC through EA Play. In terms of games that are leaving, Kingdom Hearts 3 is kind of like in this weird situation at the moment when it was meant to have left and so it's not officially on the list, but it might be leaving. We're not quite sure. Yeah, it might be leaving, it might not be, but it's just a bit weird at the moment. Titanfall is leaving, but the servers will stay up, thank God. Hypnospace Outlaw, which is 6 to 8 hours.
You need play it on PC though.
Yeah, play it on PC.
Titanfall like completely broken now.
Yeah, the original one is pretty rough. Yeah, it's filled with hackers, which is why they're pulling it.
Yeah. Hypnospace Outlaw is apparently really good up to the last achievement, which is I sat in a party with Valak doing it this morning. He hated every minute of it.
It's a fucking drag. That last achievement, you have to visit every page on this thing, and it's just like, it's just a grind.
Do it on PC.
Yeah, do it on PC.
Trouble. Killer Queen Black is a 60, 80 hour multiplayer. I very much doubt you're going to get it done, but hey, if you want to go back to it and clean up some achievements. Tuhu, is it Tuhu Lunar Nights? How do you pronounce it?
I think it's Toho. Yeah.
Toho.
8 to 10 hours.
Yep, I'm playing it at the moment.
I'll probably go back to that one. And Stealth Inc. 2, a Game of Clones, will leave. That has one discontinued.
Yeah.
In terms of touch controls, Dreamscaper, Firewatch, Lake, The Pedestrian, Yakuza 3, and Yakuza 4 all got added.
All right, so quite a big week.
Yep. And I'm probably going to do this once a month now of a must-play game for Game Pass. I've been playing it like non-stop. Dreamscaper. Dreamscaper to me is the best thing they got added to Game Pass in Feb. It is essentially Hades Light. I'm getting to the last 6 achievements. I've noticed myself that when I'm playing, a lot of them were there was buggy ones for 5 of them. I've realized that if I pause now, that the achievement will unlock.
Right, so after you've done the requirement.
After I've done the requirement. So you got to get 6k sand, which is the currency after defeating enemies while you're doing a run. If you collect that, go over the amount. I just paused after, and then the achievements popped for me. So I don't know if they've put a patch in between, or if something's just being weird for me. But I've got 5 achievements to go now.
All right.
And then quickly, because I didn't say last month, go back and play Nobody Saves the World. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's on my call.
Yeah, I finished the story. I've got to just do the new Game Plus now.
Best game that came out in Jan on Game Pass, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm probably going to do that once a month going forward and just trying to duck into the games and see what's up. But that's the Game Pass updates for the month.
Fantastic. All right, let's get into what we've been playing then. Brad, you're our guest. You got anything you want to talk about?
Sure, let's see. What have I played? Well, I started Cyberpunk. I think I'm like 3 hours into it. Pretty good so far. Very nice looking game. Very fun. Yeah, just visually, it's excellent. Let's see what else I played. I've played.
Quick question of Cyberpunk. Have you got up to Brain Dancers yet?
No, I just did. What was it? I got like the little robot dog spider thing for the big black guy.
What playthrough are you starting off? I did Nomad.
Oh, I don't know. I did the Street Kid one.
Okay.
That
might be different. Why? Yeah.
I played Warhammer Mechanicus. Finished that.
Yeah.
Nobody Saved the World. I've just got to do the New Game Plus, and I think it's something else I need.
How'd you find it? Have you got a favorite form?
I've just stuck with the dragon since I've gotten it. Oh, yeah, New Game Plus and just buying out the shop.
Yeah.
Which I'll have done by the time that's done. And a little bit of Halo at some point. I guess that's one of my last 5 games, even though I can't remember when I played it. And I finished off Terraria the other day.
Oh, right. Wow, okay.
Because they finally put up that last update. I already had all of the swords needed to make the last sword, so that was easy, and the boss is very easy to kill.
Yeah, I need to go back and clean that up. I got a good amount of progress in that game, but it just did not stick with me. But that's because I'm shit at video games. All right, Cameron, what have you got on your list?
All right, I have. All right, so Dreamscaper, I already said, absolutely amazing. I'm cleaning up like the last 5 achievements now. I was a little bit concerned towards the end, thinking that I might have to collect all the items, but I only have to get 95 out of the 110 that are available. So I've just got to do another run with an intensity level of 6, which you've got like normal, hard, and nightmare for 4 different categories, including bosses, enemies, floor size, and something, I think, damage. So then you just add 1 or 2. There's an achievement for getting 6. I would recommend that you increase everything except for the bosses, because the bosses are bullshit. A nightmare. I've got a few runs where I've nearly got it done, but like I've just worked on maxing out everything that's in the real world. Very close to getting the completion. The only thing that's probably going to be a little bit difficult is getting the companion achievement, which is getting 6 items that have companions with them, which is like a little kind of pet, something that might fire backwards or shield you or has like that kind of characteristic to it. Other than that, being an amazing game. I keep on finding myself like, alright, I probably should start Dying Light 2 or something. No, I'm just going to go back to Dreamscaper. It's too good.
What kind of time frame, like how long you've been playing this for roughly? Do you know?
Last 2 weeks, and I think my profile's weird because I think it's counting my hours played as part of Quick Resume.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Yeah.
I reckon 30 to 40 hours is the estimate. I think I'm probably like the 25, 30 hours at the moment.
Okay. All right.
I can never trust my played hours.
Yeah. I think it's essentially it's essentially like the Hades achievements except for the RNG grind at the end.
Right. Yeah, that was the biggest problem I had.
So I think 30 to 40 hours is probably a reasonable estimate.
Cool. Easy. That's half of what I had to do for Hades, so I'll probably jump on that, actually.
The only negative I had was the glitchy achievements, but everything's been working out fine. It is one of those games that it is a roguelike. You are going to be upgrading everything on the outside, but then you get to pick what you want to start your run with. Achievements are just going to come naturally. First few runs are going to be difficult. You probably won't unlock your first achievement, which is beating Fear, to like 2 to 3 hours into the game. But, I mean, it's very similar to Hades in that regard. Cyberpunk, probably put 3 hours in, really enjoying it. There's a lot of conversation early on to the game.
So you just skip through that, right?
I listen to it until it gets really boring.
So about 5 seconds in, yeah.
I really like the gunplay and the driving.
No, skip.
The shame they put all those words in between.
I know. All right. Yeah. Why do
they put words in the game?
Look, I have been following the story.
Drive, bang, 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 bang. Drive.
I have been following the story. I'm just disappointed that brain dance didn't mean what I thought it meant.
What the hell did you think it meant?
I thought it was like a neural lap dance.
I mean, that's just a regular lap dance when they get it right in your face, right? That's so...
No, but you get taken to like the strip joint kind of place, and they're just like, oh, you've experienced like a brain dance before. It's like, and it's basically a way for getting your kicks off, like in terms of thrills. So you're reliving somebody's memories of like robbing a convenience store. So like the tutorial is the guy, you being the guy's body as he's robbing a convenience store, but then his buddy that's been on the outside shoots him just as he's about to hand the cash over.
Right.
And then it's like using that and breaking apart the layers. So you break apart the audio on it. Like you can, it's basically like a small, like compact universe that you use as an investigative area.
Oh, okay. Right.
It's really cool. But that's just what I've been playing on the Nomad difficulty. Jackie seems cool. Ever since I've seen the song for the ending for Cyberpunk, like I can't wait to get up to that bit, but I'm probably going to be playing this on and off a bit. I just want a little bit more action and a little less narrative at the moment.
It's an RPG, Cameron.
I know.
Yeah.
Made by the company that makes some of the biggest RPGs.
I know. But I'm
I'm
really liking the gunplay.
You just don't want story.
No, yeah, exactly. All right.
I know.
Anything else before you disappoint me any further?
State of Decay 2, I've been playing the Daybreak mode, which is essentially a horde. This one's going to be a real grind because they have one achievement called Guilty Spark, which is for completing 343 horde waves.
Oh, God. Right.
And a match is essentially 7. I reckon I will get all the other achievements before I hit 50%, and then I'll be just grind.
Christ. Okay.
Other than that, though, shout out to Baron for dropping the stuff into the game for me to do single player. I haven't touched it in like 4 years, but yeah, it's been pretty, like just for the horde mode, it's been pretty fun. Like just doing a randoms, very easy to know what to do. Not much else other than that. Advanced Warfare, you going to cover?
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about that, yeah.
Do you want to cover Grounded as well?
I know you can talk about that.
Alright, so Grounded, quick shout out to Cobalt from the cabin for running both me and Matt through Grounded this morning. Very quick 15-minute getting the DLC done. So quick shout out for him. If you need his Discord link, hit me up and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, really appreciate that. He just sort of just jumped out and was like, hey, yeah, I'm just doing it. Happy to help.
Didn't appreciate Matt's jokes on bugs whatsoever.
Yeah, no, I've made jokes about bugs, made jokes about grassroots projects, just nothing. Which is fine. Hey, you know, I
that's fine. We got
any good Rick Moranis jokes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was moving up to like a Honey I Shrunk the Kids joke, but like I was getting nothing. So I was like, okay, I'm not.
I haven't seen that movie in a very long time. I think I'm gonna watch that soon.
It's all right.
It probably hasn't aged well, but
not particularly. No.
Yeah. So quick shout out to him for Grounded. I feel like this is going to be a live service game that keeps on getting updated gradually, and we're just going to have to find somebody to do it.
It's fine. It's just be like Minecraft.
That's what they do with live service games.
Yep.
There's always going to be people to help you.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Guitar Hero 2, I've done every achievement now except for the 500,000 in a song and all the co-op achievements, so it's pretty much trying to find a local buddy to help me get the rest of them.
You can fly me over.
Or waiting until we do Achievement Fest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could always fly me over. I'll do it.
Last two, The Medium. I finished this up for the games that are leaving Game Pass. I liked this story, but I did not like the gameplay. And to me, the gameplay is the most defining factor of a game. There was too many times where I was running away from them all, where it was like for example, the cement mixer, moving that scene to block him in, it just would not grab onto it. I think the only regret I have is not playing it on PC, where I could, click onto it a lot better.
Yeah, it was a bit finicky. It didn't have as much polish as I was hoping. But I actually quite enjoyed that game. Again, it's not like a 5 out of 5 like must play.
See,
but...
I feel like Bloober Team did Layers of Fear so well compared to this.
I like Layers of Fear.
The only thing I really liked in the game was like when you're running away from them all, and it's like splitting between both realities.
Mm-hmm.
But then Kia also pointed out the fact that realistically in that world that they're breaking their own rules. Kind of,
but it's kind of when you switch between anyway. I won't get into it, but yeah, it's.
But like it was all right. It was just one of those things that I've been struggling to get back into going back to it, and yeah, just didn't care for it. And the last one I played was Never Yield, Aerial Knights Never Yield, which I had my first for.
Number 1.
Kirby quickly warned me that it was an update, and then I would have lost it. So I quickly re-downloaded it instead of doing State of Decay 2. They added 3 really fun achievements in for an endless mode.
I was going to say, it sounded like you were having a good time.
So the endless mode added an achievement for doing laps without failing obstacles, which unlocked about like 25 to 30 laps in. There was another one that unlocked about 40 laps in. And then there was an achievement for doing the music track, which lasts 30 minutes. Like I jumped into Aerial Knight's Discord just to say, hey, like, can you give me an indication? I'm getting up to like wave 75 and it's still not unlocking. And he's like, yeah, you'll probably get it around. You'll roughly get like 30 minutes in, and then the achievement should pop.
Jesus.
So I was like, all right, cool, 12-second lap, like working out. All right, 150 to 160 laps.
Without making a single mistake.
Yeah. And at the same time, Dwaggy's streaming it because I accidentally gave him the heads up. Because I knew he originally talked to Aerial Knight about, fixing the bonus level achievement because a lot of people were struggling and didn't want to, go through the level, get the coin, and then do the bonus level component. They just wanted to be able to select bonus level, which is fine. So he was racing me on stream, and he was, I want to say like 15 to 20 laps in front of me for overtaking. But he was pausing in front of every single obstacle to try and do it. Now, off the first corner is the hardest one to see. So essentially it was like, all right, cool. Pause on the first corner, do the pause method to like screen sheet a little, set myself up, then go around legit. So I did that, managed to just drag into front like by 5 minutes time, and then get the achievement.
Lucky.
But then I was watching him do it at the same time, and I was just like, you're not still my first, buddy.
Oh, good job,
You're
mate.
not having it.
Yeah. But he put the solutions up, and I kept the first, so I was happy. But I'm at
2,625.
Sweet, thank you.
Charlotte, what have you got on your list?
Yep. I didn't make a list because I've just been playing one game at the moment, but I have completed 3 games since last week. So I've since last week completed Control. So that's now done and dusted. I think I finished it on Sunday.
Just before it left Game Pass, so that was good.
Yeah, like right before. Yeah, 13th, whatever that.
How did you find it? Could you hear Alan Wake?
No, because I had on mute.
God damn it!
Oh my god.
No, okay, so I am gonna play it again. And I'm gonna do because I am gonna do Control Ultimate because I own it. Yeah. So I can sit, do it, play it, not think about walking through a walkthrough. Like I have already played it, so it's not gonna be like I need to sit and read. I can actually just play the game.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the one thing I missed out on is like I really wanted to just experience it, and I didn't really get to do that because there were achievements and there were collectibles and there was this and that and the other thing, and I was like, okay, well, I need to get it done.
I have another question for you.
Go for it.
Did you mute the maze?
No.
Thank God.
No. I had no. Okay.
If you muted the maze, I'm just like, nah.
No, because I knew that when I did the maze, I did the maze earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Last year. So when was the big push for control last year? I can't remember. Was that October maybe?
Yeah, August or something. Yeah.
August, I think it was August.
Yeah.
So I did a real massive push and got like probably 80% of the game done in August last year.
Yeah.
And I'd only been playing like a little bit at a time, and I was playing it with the sound. So I had the ashtray maze. I did the full maze with the sound, and I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Best part of that game.
So good. And I love Artie. So, and like I've done a spoiler cast about Control with the Xbox cast. So I have done with Simone and Gary, and we talked about the whole thing, and I could talk about it all over again. Like, there's so much more to the story. It's a great game. My only issues were that the Game Pass version was really buggy. So, like, the map would just completely go blank. So, like, all of the control points were there, but I couldn't see anything. And the map is already confusing as fuck. So, like, I had no fucking clue where I was. Trying to find one area to go and do one specific achievement, and I'm like, I've got like 3 days left. Why the fuck are you doing this to me?
Yeah, the original. So that's the original Xbox One version, which was not really underpowered. The Ultimate Edition fixes a lot of those issues, thankfully.
Yeah. So it's very different when you go to like I've already previously installed the Ultimate and had a look at it, and it's so much better. So I can't wait. I'm like, it's going to be a better experience. One, because I've already gone through the whole story, so I can kind of just sit and enjoy it and take my time with it. And I would highly recommend it, but not if you're going to rush. Like, you need to have your time and sit and actually just play it. Like, that's so much better.
And make sure to read the collectibles as well, because some of the stuff is so funny and so interesting.
Yeah, like there's so much in there, and like all of the little bits and pieces, like it's just so good. So like I highly recommend Control. Like if you can get the Ultimate Edition, that's optimized for Series X. Do it. Yeah. It also includes all of the DLC, and it's got the Alan Wake part, so it's all in there. There were parts that I did hear the Alan Wake part, but the problem is that I haven't done Alan Wake, so I don't have any tie-in for that. But it now makes me want to go and do Alan Wake. So I'm like, wait, is there going to be like a remaster? Can I do Alan Wake?
Their remaster came out last year, I think, or the year before. So I'm definitely going to pick it up at some stage.
So that now is like my next thing. I'm like, actually, okay, now that I finished Control, if I go back to Control, can I then play Alan Wake? Because now I want to. Yeah.
I'm gonna wait until the official day comes out for Alan Wake 2 and probably go back to Alan Wake Remastered.
And then play the 2?
I'll probably do Alan Wake Remastered, watch the TV scenes for Quantum Break. I mean, like, it's like, you know, I could easily watch the TV scenes and do Control at the same time.
Sure.
Do Control, do Crossfire X because it's part of the universe.
No, it's not. No. Quantum Break isn't even part of the universe.
I know.
Oh my god.
The Remedy games. I'm sure they put something in.
Yeah, so is fucking Max Payne part of the universe as well?
100%.
Jesus Christ.
Max Payne would make for a good TV series.
It did make for a good movie. We'll put that on the list.
Marky Mark screwed that one up.
Oh god. Yeah.
No, but I'll probably do Alan Wake Remaster, watch the Quantum Break stuff, and then do the Control stack when Alan Wake 2 comes out, because that's going to be a fun as spoiler cast.
Oh, I would. Like, once you've done, like, if you can do Control, I'd happily do another spoiler cast about Control, and then Alan Wake if I can do that as well. Like, 100%.
I'll be honest. I would much rather do it in Alan Wake 2 because, like, Control, I don't understand what half the shit is going on.
I know a lot of the details from Control. So, like, I've already done a lot of the research, and like playing it, I wanted to know more, so I went and found out more, and I have all of these little trivia notes about Control, and like,
you have to want to listen to the story, Cameron.
Yeah, you have to. I mean,
like,
you got to read as well.
Yeah,
it's hard, because like, Control is the kind of game where they hid they hide a lot of the lore in the collectibles.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Whereas
that's where the meat
like
is.
I like the whole 30 to 40 minute YouTube video breaking everything down for me.
Hot
But
tip,
this is how I
Cameron.
work. There's
There's a wiki.
Yeah.
There's a wiki
then I have
page
to
that
read.
has all of the lore.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it cuts
A
it
is for
down anyway.
apple. B is for
Who's gonna read?
bird.
Who'd just do it in the game?
Well, okay,
Exactly.
Cameron. I also played a couple of other games this week. I did
Yeah.
2 other completions. I
What else you got?
completed Agatha Christie, the ABC Murders. So that one's done.
Yeah.
I want to try and do the other Agatha Christie one at some point, and then I'll probably look at doing the Sherlock ones because I quite like the murder mysteries and I like the point and click and
The Sherlock ones are good. The only problem I have with them is they're so expensive. Like
They're not cheap. Yeah.
They're hard to get on good
Yeah.
sale. But they're great games.
Eh.
Like the ones that hit Game Pass, I've done. I'm pretty sure.
Like I'll go
Oh,
through
not
whatever
Game Pass,
I
Games of
can.
Gold.
The other one I completed this week, which did not take long at all, was Telling Lies, which I know that previously Matt's talked about. That is a weird fucking game.
Yeah.
Isn't it just an FMV thing?
Kind of. Yeah. It's FMV, but with some interactivity around like watching clips. It's based on. We lost Charlotte, I think.
I was going to say we lost her.
Yeah, I think so. It's based on the original game that the developer did was called Her Story, where you're sitting in front of a computer looking up video clips, trying to figure out a mystery. And it's basically someone. I remember it was one of my favorite things I've ever seen on Steam. Someone said, "How do we know when the game's done?" And it's like the game's done when you're satisfied with the story and you're satisfied with the game. And it's like, and then the response was, "How do I know when I'm satisfied with the game?" And it's like, if that doesn't typify how fucking video games and video gamers are, that's yeah. I guess I'll go. We got you back, Charlotte.
Oh, there we go.
Oh my god, what the fuck happened?
We lost you, but don't worry. I covered how weird Telling Lies is because it's just kind of a weird FMV game.
Thank you, because it is fucking weird. I don't have anything more to say about it.
How long is it?
I want to go on to the next one. It was not long at all. It took me like maybe less than 2 hours.
Maybe
I had a walkthrough that had all of the words you have to search, and I just went through and just smashed them all out. And then it got to the time limit because I was watching some of the videos and fast forwarding through them. I didn't realize you could bookmark them and go back out. And so it got to the end of the story, credits, and the credits are fucking long. And you can't skip them, and it's like 10 minutes of credits. Like, I'm not even kidding. And then I went back and then finished searching and completed it. But yeah, it's weird. I want to talk about this last game I've been playing because I'm almost finished it and it's fucking good.
I want to, after you've done that, I want to add something that I forgot to say about the Guitar Hero 2 credits.
Sure.
Yeah.
You can say it after.
No, yeah, I said after. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I've been playing a Game Pass game that came out recently called Olja, Olija. I have looked up how it's pronounced. It's Olja. So I didn't think much of it when I installed it. I was like, oh, it kind of cool, looks cute. I didn't know really anything about it before I started playing it. I just saw it on TA and it had a really good ratio. I went, okay, 1.9, cool, okay, this could be all right. I could do this. I really enjoy it. It's difficulty, there's no difficulty to it. Like, it doesn't have like a easy, medium, hard or whatever. It's one standard, this is the game. So you can't like make it harder if you want it harder, but I actually don't mind because it doesn't need to be. Like, I've had to reset a few things a few times.
What kind of game is it?
It's Metroidvania. So it's all pixel art. It's all pixel art. I will probably share a couple of screenshots in the Discord later, and I will put a couple in Xbox Cast as well. But it's all pixel art. It's all very lo-fi.
Oh.
Do we lose her again?
That was ironic.
Yeah, lo-fi
Just
indeed,
about to say
right?
lo-fi. Yeah.
Oh, the one is modern technology. All right, well, we'll try and get it back. I'll quickly flick through what I've got because we're running a bit long.
Yeah.
So I finished up Immortals yesterday. So I talked a little about that.
Phoenix Rising.
Yes.
Good game.
Okay,
Yeah,
I am
actually,
here.
Oh, you here? Okay, good. Yeah, good. Go. All right.
I can still hear you guys perfectly fine. I'm like,
Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So we can edit now.
We can edit this. I'm not sure why my internet's decided today is going to be the day that it's going to have a fun with me. But yeah, it's lo-fi Japanese style. So it's very melodic. I really like it. It's really chill. The gameplay is very easy. But it's about a wealthy Lord Faraday who has an island that he has a whole lot of poor villagers and he wants to go and feed them. So he goes out in search of food for his villagers and he gets shipwrecked. And then it's all about him coming back to his island. He then finds a cursed harpoon. So that's his first weapon. He gets a crossbow at some point. He gets he has a rapier. And then he gets the moon blade, which is real fancy. But he ends up falling in love because he rescues a princess of the realm who is Princess Olia. And so she's tied in a way that she then gives him the moon blade, and each weapon has different abilities. He gets to craft different hats, which give different modifiers, that kind of thing. And like the enemies aren't too difficult. They're kind of just like, there's some weird black slugs that crawl across the ground and you have to like attack them, and then there's guys that like shoot like these chains across at you. So it's that same style that you've seen 100 times before, but like I'm not finding it difficult, so that it's like it must be easy then. I think most people would get through it way quicker than I will. Like it's taking me a lot longer than they probably would. So normally it's meant to be 4 to 5 hours. I'm probably running about 6 at the moment. I'll probably do it in about 7.
All right.
I think most people would do it way quicker than that. But there's not actually that much story, so it wouldn't be that bad. You don't have to like skip anything. The only issue I have with it is the health, which you can get like in the beginning, your health bar you can increase if you get money. So you can get it up, but it maxes out at a set point, so you can't increase it any further than that point.
Mm-hmm.
And to get back the health, unless you have a specific hat on, you can't get back the health. That doesn't regenerate fast enough, which is frustrating. So then you end up dying again, especially when you get to like the bosses and stuff. But yeah, I think I'm like two realms away from finishing it. But it's definitely something I would recommend jumping on because it's actually good.
All right, I'm going to add it to my list.
God.
I think it looks, I'm really, actually, that's kind of, I mean, I love Metroidvanias, so that's definitely going to be on my list.
I highly recommend it.
The genre I've been meaning to go back to for a while.
All right, I'll quickly flick through what I've been playing. So yeah, I'm playing, finishing up Immortals Phoenix Rising. So I think I finished it last week and was talking a bit about the DLC. So the first DLC is, for those who don't know, it's sort of Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild meets Far Cry, essentially in terms of like exploring, climbing towers, doing shrines, that kind of stuff. Really, like I love the game. It overstayed its welcome a little bit in terms of like how much repetitiveness is, but I really enjoyed the puzzles. You can. I
really like the combat. The combat was so smooth.
Combat is
really
really
like the combat.
It does have, like you can play it on like story difficulty and just like sweep your way through it if you want. Like it's really. A lot of accessibility options. It's really good. So I started the DLC. I did the first one, which is basically the trials, the shrines from the main game. They extend them out into 26 new puzzles. The second to last of which is my favorite one, where they're just like extensions of the main game, where it's like, okay, here's a block puzzle, move this block, roll this ball, figure out how these things work together, hit these buttons in the right order, do this traversal stuff through like a wind tunnel. So you keep getting pushed forwards. You need to dodge, lightning and lasers. pretty like relatively straightforward, not too difficult, like a little bit of challenge. And each of them have optional chests, which like have bonus objectives. And then the last one that you do is the last one you do is probably my favorite, which is once you've gotten all the optional objectives, it takes you into one that has 12 different puzzles, but each puzzle is actually just like a weird little mini game. So one of them is like pinball. So you're sitting there and you have a button and a giant boulder rolls down and you have to use flippers to hit it to try and get into a hole. There's one that's Donkey Kong, where like the original Mario, where you're running along and there's a Cyclops throwing barrels down and you have to jump over them to get to the top to free a princess. There's one that's like a shell game where you got to find the lady, that kind of thing. There's one that's Guitar Hero, where there are boxes coming down and you have to press buttons to hit them out of the magnet stream to make sure they don't hit the ground. And there was one that was like baseball. I was trying to figure out. I was like, why are we doing this? So you stand on one part and they launch a ball and you have to grab the ball and throw it back into the middle section so it falls into a thing. And then I was like, okay, now what? And it's like, oh, it activates like some circles that you have to stand on. And I was like, well, that's easy. Just stand on one, stand on the other, stand on the other. And I realized it was a diamond and it was actually a stadium. So like they obviously, like the last one they just kind of had fun with, which I was like, I wish they had more of that in the rest of the game. Because most of it is just kind of relatively standard puzzles with like, do portal stuff by throwing balls through stuff and magnetizing things and lightning strikes and that kind of stuff. Like, it's interesting, but yeah.
It's Ubisoft though. We can't let our employees have too much creativity.
Right, exactly. And so
there's NFTs to make.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then I played through the second DLC, and again, these DLCs are basically completely separate from the main game. I was expecting like extensions of them, but the second one is basically it's Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. What Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon is to Far Cry, where it's like, okay, same engine, same style of game, but let's reskip. Yeah, it's about Asia, right? So essentially, it's about the size of maybe like a region or a region and a half from the main game, where you're essentially going through and doing two sides of it's a yin and yang on the map. And so there's only like 5 like puzzles, like 5 shrines, bunch of like puzzles. You can get chests, and then like combat and that kind of stuff, and then a bit of a story. Nothing too complex, but it was kind of the perfect bite-sized chunk. It was about 6 to 8 hours. That's kind of what I wanted from the main game. Like, again, the main game I feel like could have been shortened by maybe like 10 hours. Like if they had 3 regions instead of 4, for example, I probably wouldn't have got as burnt out. Whereas this was just like a really good bite-sized experience. You got in, got an interesting story, learned a couple of things, got into a big fight with some gods, got out. That was it. It was made by a completely different studio. It was made by one of their China studios. And they just kind of used the engine to make their own kind of Eastern version of the game. Really, really good. I really enjoyed it. And then the last one takes another tack completely as well. It's called The Lost Gods. And so part of what happens in the main game is obviously you only meet like 4 or 5 gods, 6 maybe. And so they talk about the other ones. So you meet a bunch of them. A bunch of them are like, we're gonna start our own island with blackjack and hookers. And so Poseidon pulls these islands out of the thing, and Zeus is like, so Zeus sends you to, well, I don't want to spoil what happens, but essentially you send a completely different character to that island to go and find those gods and try and convince them to come back to Olympus because the world's gone to shit. But the game completely changes. It turns into a Diablo style hack and slash. The camera pulls up. You don't have any of your abilities, and you earn abilities by doing missions, but like even like climbing and like gliding and the powers you get throughout the regular game, you have to re-earn. But like from a completely different perspective. So it plays very, very differently. And like you basically go from shrine to shrine. You can only save at shrines, so you can't save wherever you want. You can only upgrade at shrines. And so it's part of like unveiling the map. It plays like a completely different game. For the achievements, you can skip a lot of the like optional stuff and just kind of do the mainline the story for the most part. So I got it done in about 7-8 hours. Yeah, if you want to do everything, it'd probably take closer to 12 to 13. But yeah, like I was like, wow, this is like surprisingly well done. Like, again, it's all the same engine, all the same assets, but they've just decided that, hey, we changed the perspective, we've tweaked a couple of the things, and now it's a different style of game. So yeah, like I would highly recommend, like if you can get the gold edition. I don't know if it's still on sale. It might not be anymore, but it was 75% off for the whole thing. So I went and grabbed it. And I highly recommend the game. It's fantastic. And again, you can play all of the stuff on story mode. So it's relatively chill. There's a couple of challenging parts, but The walkthrough on TA is pretty good, although he gets his easts and wests mixed up a few times, which I yelled about because I was looking at it, and then I looked at the map and I was like, okay, so the thing you said to the west is to the east, which means the thing that's to the west is. I was like, anyway, got through it all, finished it up.
Then eventually they start getting it right, so that screws you up.
Exactly. So I was like,
you're
okay.
trying to account for that, and then they start getting it wrong again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm just no fucking idea. I was just trying to figure out what the hell's going on, but yeah, I definitely recommend it. Great game. Finally done with it. Speaking of games I'm finally done with, I also finished up The Division. Huge shout out to Keo for helping me with that. Finally got the survival done. It's been like 5 years. So
he carry you through that pretty much, or
not? I mean, like to start with, yeah, because again I hadn't done it, but he played the game so much that he knew most of the good routes. But again, we had to do like 20 runs of it just about. So by the time we got to the end of it, I got pretty good at it and kind of got a good feel for it. So we'd end up splitting off and doing our own thing, and then re-meeting up back by the Dark Zone.
Yeah.
Not my favorite mode, but the more I played it, the more I kind of got it. It
was super unique at the time.
Yeah,
very good.
It had a really interesting way of doing like a roguelike mode with a timer, and like kind of like an environmental thing that's completely separate from the main game.
And it was also sort of a semi-battle royale because it was PvP and PvE as well.
Yeah, exactly. So so be other people, and obviously, the worst thing would happen is like, okay, you get to the extraction point, you put up your flare, you got to fight off a couple of big bad enemies, and then some guy rocks up after you've been weakened and just tries to steal all your shit. So we played PvE, and, we had met some nice people who would revive us every now and then, which was good. But we got pretty damn good at it. We were getting through runs pretty quickly, like under an hour. But yeah, like I'm glad it's done. I'm really glad. Like it was the last achievement I've had sitting there for a long time. It was on my online completion cleanup list, which is getting shorter and shorter. I want to get it down to 1 page if possible. So Firehawk, once you get some free time, I want you to help me out with Guardians of Middle Earth, because I got a lot of achievements to get in that game.
So you're starting the Division 2 now, right?
No fucking way am I starting the Division 2. No, I do not have time for that. Also, another shout out to Shadowed Sly for doing the big carry on Advanced Warfare.
I really don't think you can sell how much of a carry it was.
I said that the man is cracked and cannot be stopped. He was insane. So we did Carrier, which is the third map, which is arguably the hardest. Yes.
The fun in itself, Carrier.
Yes, Carrier. Yes. I know. Hardly knew her. So basically, I know it doesn't. So we did the Easter egg, which has so much RNG bullshit in it. With basically we did one run of it, took us 2.5 hours, and we just could not get the drone. So we did another run. We got a bunch of achievements along the way. Finally got it. We were running late for everything. It took forever, but we got it. And then he helped me go back and finish up all the achievements for it. So I got that done, and then he also helped me do the Easter egg for the first map as well this afternoon, which was greatly appreciated. So that's been really good. The man is fucking good at that game. He is so good at it.
All he plays is COD. So
to be fair, that is all he plays is shooters. So he plays COD and the occasional other shooter, right? So he is very he knows where his talents lie. So we've still got to do the 4th map pack, which is going to be maybe the fun one. That'll be the fun one. We'll see how that goes. I have done the Easter egg for that before on the 360.
But isn't the Easter egg? Isn't there 2 Easter eggs in one? Where you have to get black and white mode and then get the Easter egg done?
Yes, exactly. Which is going to suck. So yeah, that one's probably going to take us a few tries. But hey, it is what it is. We'll get through it. He's been super helping us out with Cameron and Martel as well. So we'll see what we can get done. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow.
Wait, tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
I got Percy tomorrow. What the hell?
Oh, that's a shame, buddy. I've also
like a you problem.
No.
Yeah, exactly right. I don't think we'll do the Easter egg or anything because Martel's not back, but we might do a bit of cleanup. Also, I've been playing the Game of Sleeping Game Pass, Lunar Nights. It is a standard side-scrolling Metroidvania with a slightly interesting time stop mechanic. Game's not super challenging. it's definitely like if you get hit, you take a lot of damage, but most of the time you can avoid enemy attacks, so it's a kind of a risk reward. There's also an interesting mechanic around where if you get close enough to enemies but back away, you actually steal some health off them. So it has like kind of like you can just stand back and throw knives at them, but there's actually a reason to get close to an enemy or to like do like a really close dodge, kind of like how witch time works in like kind of like Bayonetta and stuff, where you dodge at the last minute.
Is that your only form of health regen, or?
Basically, yes.
Okay.
You can pick up. There are like vending machines will give you health back, kind of like a standard Metroidvania thing. But that's the only other way to get health back, basically, is from doing that stuff. So there are enemies like wisps that move quite slowly that are good to like farm. So you would jump, go into a room, get the health from them, back out, go back. Okay. So I got past the 4th boss. I'm in the 5th area, which is kind of like the final main area, and then I think there's like a secret area afterwards, and then this whole boss rush mode. So bit of grinding to do at the end, I think, because Valak did it and he recommended being about level 40, and I'm like level 17. So I've got still a bit more game to do. It's not a super long completion. It's not terribly difficult, and I kind of like the time mechanic, but yeah, it's kind of refreshing to play. It's very simple, though. It's very straightforward.
Yeah.
And then just lastly, Perfect Dark Zero. Mike and I finally made some more progress. We have 2 more levels to do on Perfect Dark difficulty. Sorry, on Dark Agent difficulty. The dreaded mission 9, which is the one where we kept getting disconnected. We made some progress on it today, but just couldn't pull it out. And then mission 11, which not as bad, but is much longer. So hopefully we'll get those done this week. And then I have no excuse. I have to go back and do the single player on Dark Agent, which is going to be like pulling fucking teeth.
And then you got nobody to carry you.
No, exactly. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, exactly. I can't. I have no one to blame but myself. So that puts me at 2,490 for this week.
Year of hard completions. Get it done.
Trying to. That's the plan. Speaking of completions, we've got a few completion shoutouts we should do. We've got Mr. Red 47 has finished up Life is Strange Before the Storm Remastered and Crossfire X. Baron has finished up Gears 5, Besieged, and Battletoads. The man is insane. Kruger, I guess from last week, has hit a 775-day achievement streak. Declan has also finished up Crossfire X and Grounded. Charlotte has finished up Control and Agatha Christie, as she said. Rapture finished up the Falconeer just before it left Game Pass. Chapter X has finished up Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. Cameron's finished up The Medium, and he got the first and Never Yield, as he said, and finished up Grounded along with me. Hack'n'Pone has finished up 10 completions this week, including The Medium, Forza Street, and The Artful Escape, and 12 minutes. Making the rest of us look bad. Keo finished up Forza Street, which is a really good one. Rapture finished up Crossfire X, and of course a bunch of baby games as always. And then for our leaderboard, we've got Grey Shark in 3rd with 14,705. We've got Thrash Forever with 15,035, and MC Pandas is at 23,260. Jesus Christ!
You got 23,000. I got 25,000.
Really? Oh, maybe it hasn't updated to my one.
Yeah, maybe he's just had it.
Oh, yeah, he's just been playing. He's been playing. Oh, yeah, he's been playing. Some the title updates just come out, so he's at 25,260. Jesus.
Colorful
Christ.
color, smart moves. Yep.
Yeah, absolute fucking trash.
Sweet. I was going to quickly mention just on Charlotte's credit scene when I was doing Guitar Hero 2 this week as well. I got to the end, like I had to watch the 20 minutes of credits for one achievement. And it gets to the very end, and it's just like no baseball players were injured in the making of this video game, except one, Joel Samaya.
Oh, God.
And I was like, okay, there's a story there. So I looked it up. While he held batters to a .187 batting average in 2006, he was even tougher with runners in scoring position, .176, and 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Samaya remained in the bullpen for the 2006 playoffs. However, he was sidelined for the American League Championship Series by a sore wrist, which Tigers general manager Dave Dombrowski disclosed in December 2006 radio interview was due to Samaya playing the PlayStation 2 video game Guitar Hero. This was acknowledged by the game's developers with messages on the credits of the Xbox 360 version of Guitar Hero 2. No pitchers were harmed in the making of this game, except for one, Joel Samaya. He had it coming.
That's okay. That is pretty funny.
In a 2016 interview with the Detroit News, however, Samaya said the Guitar Hero story was just a cover and not true. while refusing to disclose the actual source of the injury and calling the Guitar Hero story his final answer. He also admitted that it was some bogus stuff.
Yeah, well, okay.
Quotation marks. Guitar Hero.
Yeah, Guitar Hero stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it just it came up like heavy text, and just like, except for one space, Joel Samaya. He had it coming. It was perfect. Anyway.
We got a couple completions. A couple of questions for this week, but I think we'll save them for next week.
You can answer one.
No, we're running a bit longer. We're at this for 2 hours already. So let's go on to our Patreon stuff, Cameron.
All right. Do you want the games first, or do you want the Patreon shout out?
Let's do the Patreon shout out first.
I knew you'd say that.
So, okay, let's do the games first then. All right.
And I've already clicked it off.
Why fucking ask me then if you already have the answer?
Why not have both open and ready?
All right, so Patreon shoutouts. We have Mad Lefty, we have G Spaceman, we have Admiral Awesome, Odrin, Keo, Cobra Todd, Moogle356, Kung Fu Skills, Hawkeye Barry, Hagenpone, Cavaliero 7, Brad. Hi, Brad.
You're welcome.
And Nick Love and Legend.
And Charlotte.
And Charlotte, sorry. Thank you
Thanks.
for all our wonderful supporters that keep the show running. If it wasn't for you, I would have to pay this out of my own pocket, and I'm very poor.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, basically. Yeah, that's yeah.
Drop the truth bombs.
Exactly.
In terms of the games for the Patreon draw, we have me bringing it back up again. Also, quick shout out. LCA Free Guy went up beforehand. We had a blast watching it, so you will have a blast watching it as well and listening to our episode if you choose.
If you're a Patreon, and if you're on a Patreon, what are you doing?
Yeah,
give us some money.
4 games that I have picked for this month for the Patreon giveaway are the Sealed Anthropoli, which is a dungeon crawler with a harvesting mechanic, I believe. It sounded very interesting when I saw the Xbox description. I'm probably going to pick it up myself. Longest Road on Earth, which seems like a really nice black and white story-based game. Verganti, which is just 2D side-scroller, and Dismantle, which is a survival game. They all look very interesting. Still Empoli is in the lead with 3 votes.
Fantastic.
So if you want any others, chuck a vote on before the end of the month.
Yep. And so, yeah, basically, we'll be drawing that out next week? Week after?
Yeah, probably next
week after.
Okay, yeah, week after.
Would be the week after, wouldn't it?
Yeah, week after, yeah.
One or the other.
So, yeah, we'll draw that in a couple of weeks. If you're a Patreon, you get an entry. Whatever tier you are gives you 1 extra entry. So tier 1 gets 1, tier 2 gets 2, tier 3 gets 3, basically. Yeah. We'll draw that out and we'll announce the winner in a couple of weeks.
Discord.
Well,
what?
Firstly, we've got also I've got a new clue for the word challenge, Cameron.
Okay.
So the word challenge is basically a challenge on our Discord where you have to guess a game that I've thought up based on a clue that I give away every week, and if you win, you get $20. Simple as that. All you have to do is put the exact name of the game with punctuation and all that stuff, and whatever, in the Discord channel called Word Challenge. If a GIF pops up, the correct GIF, and not just one that I posted to remind you that it's not the fucking witness, you win $20. Simple as that. So the last week's clue was it is a game that is a port, so it's not the non-original release. This game. The second clue is this game is part of a franchise, so it's not a standalone game. It has other games, has sequels and all that sort of stuff. Cameron always gets shitty when I give too much away, so I have a few other bits and pieces if it gets too difficult. But
the other clue is it's not the witness, and that will leave
it's not the witness. Exactly, it is not. The witness.
Bonus clue for
Sam and Max.
Sam, yeah, exactly. Sam, there you go. You got it.
Tana Montana.
So you can go in there and give it a guess. It is on slow-mo, so you only get 1 guess per hour. So keep your mean guesses to a minimum if you actually want to win. Or if you don't, whatever. I don't give a shit. You can shitpost.
We all just use it to say the witness anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's true. The rest of the Discord is a shitposting forum anyway, so what do I care? Speaking of Discord...
It's a meme post now.
Same thing. Discord.io/Hall of Gamers is the place to come hang out with us. That's where the word challenge is. That's where we talk about the show. We talk about video games in general. We've got a special channel for our Patreons on there as well. And a few other bits and pieces. We talk, about movies and, silly stuff, memes. And actually, we've got a serious stuff channel as well if you want to,
If anybody ever wants to use it, it's pretty much tumbleweed at the moment, but it's...
Pretty much, yeah, but I mean, no.
Or we shit talk the Australian government every now and then.
Yeah, but then it's in chat, and I'm
yeah.
just like, well, it's in chat now, so it's fine, whatever.
That's, yeah, I mean, yeah. Talking the Australian government is basically the national pastime, so...
So, quickly...
I could just post pictures of the protests, so...
Yeah, true.
I was going to quickly say with that too, the currently playing thing is probably going to stay with the gamer tags with outer space because it's going to cost me $30 a month to add them back in.
Oh my god.
I'm just like, alright, I'm just doing the cheap option. It's not worth $240 a year. Oh wait, 30 times 12. $360 a year. Not worth
Quick maths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was quickly also going to say, does Brad want to try the Give Me a Game challenge that we've been doing with the guests?
What?
So basically how it runs is I have a bot in the Discord that if you type in Give Me a Game, will give you a randomized game that most of them are in Game Pass. You get up to 3 draws. But it's like basically first draw, I'm happy with it. You can see what the other 2 are. Or you can choose to redraw. You can't redraw past the third.
The idea is that you need to complete the game.
You got to finish the game before
Oh god, no. That stuff doesn't work on me. If anything tells me to play something, I will refuse.
But you're not interested at all?
No.
Okay.
Good.
I'll pick you something.
Yeah, I'll do.
Well, what do you want to pick for me?
I don't know. I'll do the random thing.
I've got to go back to Dead Rising 4. That's what the original one was.
Do I have to type in anything?
Yeah, so it's S random give me a game. So if I do it now...
Okay.
I get case insensitive because I accidentally typed the command wrong.
Case insensitive would be a good name for a game, actually.
What is it? Capital S?
No, it shouldn't be. I've typed in the wrong command. I need the... Here, give me 2 cents.
It's just random. It's random Game Pass, isn't it? Is that the one you?
Yeah. Age of Empires 4, which I was going to do anyway.
Oh,
fine.
Yeah, you got it. All right. Yeah, he's going to play that anyway.
I was going to say, I already was planning to complete that this year, so it's all good.
No, you're doing Metal Gear Solid 5.
I'll do Ground Zeroes, that's fine.
Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, Phantom Pain.
Not Ground Zeroes. Different game.
I've already picked Age of Empires 4, it's fine.
It wasn't about you, it was about me.
Well, are you going to do Metal... Alright, I'll do Phantom Pain if you do Phantom Pain.
Speaking of about us, you can join us on the Twitch. Twitch is basically we stream this live, like we said at the start of the show. Hall of Gamers Pod is the place to find us. We do this usually every Fridays and then Saturdays the following week. So check the Discord for scheduling for that. We'll let you guys know. If you want to contact us in other ways, hallofgamerspodcast@gmail.com or @hallofgamerspod on Twitter. You can subscribe to us on your platform of choice. Leave us a review. Tell your friends. Word of mouth. Word of mouth is always the biggest one. We talk about it in our boosting sessions all the time. I made sure to drop it with Cobalt when we were doing the grounded stuff because he was like, "Oh, you guys doing a podcast?" We're like, "Yep." We'll give you a shout out, buddy. But if you also want to write in questions, I'm sorry we didn't get time to get to them this week, but we will answer them next week for sure. Cameron's just a chatty Cathy.
Hey.
Connection issues.
Yeah, connection issues.
We did go on about TV and movies for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, we got kind of lost in the sauce.
We have all other podcasts.
Tangents.
Yeah. Charlotte, if people want to find you, where can they find you? If you want to be found, that is.
I don't know that I do. Oh,
yeah,
Twitter, I'm like, Audrey Lily 8292. Xbox the same. Discord, I'm Charmander. Otherwise, just fuck off.
Yeah, fair. Brad, what about you?
Well, that is my name pretty much everywhere. So,
Old Mate Clown. Easy.
Audio listeners,
yes. But for audio listeners, he's pointing at his name, Old Mate Clown. Just find him. Pretty much.
I mean, he's pointing at the clown word more than anything. But...
say what you see. I think it's this. I think you go with this, right?
It's great that he's trying to point it out with the overlay too and doing the exact opposite side.
Yeah, that's perfect.
It's the right side for me on mine.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it's not it.
I'll take. Yeah, we're all fucked up anyway.
Anyway,
Cameron,
Shadowless Edge and pretty much everything. You can hit me up on Twitter, TA, or the Discord. If you have anything that you want to ask me, ask me.
Cool. And you can find me on Neomaster on pretty much everything: True Achievements, Xbox, and Discord. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Charlotte, as always, for being a wonderful moderator on the show as well. And thank you, Brad, for being a fantastic guest.
Always.
And for starting Metal Gear 5.
Yeah, well, we'll catch you guys next week. See you later.